it a go. If we don't, we don't. Yeah. If anything, just get it to the 7th.
Get ready for live stream curling. Only at curlingzone.com.
Well, welcome back to the Ontario Junior Curling Championships here at the Mississaugua Golf Country Club 2016. I'm joined this morning by Janet Murphy and Dolores McCallum, and we are watching what's a game that's already begun. We're in the first end of a game between Pascal Michaud and Stephen Molnar, and I mean, things have really just gotten going. We've got a few stones in play. Ladies, are you with me already?
We're here.
Hey, fantastic. Good job.
We're just down to skip rocks here.
I'm going to toss it over to you two, and while I get a few things together, and you can tell us what's going on.
Thanks, Hugh. We have Michaud here now throwing his last rock in the first end. He's throwing a hit. He's got one sitting out in front there. I'm not sure if it's biting or not. I think it's just outside the rings.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa! Yep, yep!
This looks pretty good.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Just roll, whoa! Roll. First again, go!
Yep, nicely done. So we have 4 games going on today. In this draw, we have Caldwell and Cuddy on sheet A. On sheet B, we have Scott and Singer. On sheet C, we have Harris and Key, and then our feature game today is Molnar and Michaud. So this is the last rock now of the first end. And Tyler Marshall will be throwing a hit and stay, or a peel. If that front one is out, he's probably going to want to peel this.
Yep, hard. Hard right up, hard. Hard right up. Roll it, Brandon. Roll it.
That looks like a nice blank end, so they're going to give it another go in the second end. Try and score multiple points.
Good end, guys. Good end. Keep it up. Good throw.
Now, both of these teams have played one game. They played a game yesterday, and
Try and get a couple more blank
both of the scores were actually big scores. Michaud won 9-3 against over Singer, and Molnar lost to Matt Caldwell 9-4 yesterday. So Molnar's hoping to pick up a win here today, and Michaud, this will be their second.
Good morning, Dolores.
Good morning, Janet. How are you today?
Very well.
I know you've had a busy week.
Yes. Do you have a question, Hugh?
No, there was no score in that.
I was blank.
No, it was a blank.
It was a blank.
So I was just actually mentioning to Hugh this morning, I was watching the games yesterday, and the Molnar team, as a team, for sure it's their first opportunity to be at provincials, and I think for some of the boys it's their first opportunity to be at a provincial at this level, but they were playing the defending champs, and although the scoreboard was not in their favor, they did manage to stay out and generate a 3 against them. So I thought that showed a lot of chutzpah to stick with it. I think they were down about 6 or 7-0 at the point, and stayed out and obviously worked an end plan to try and get some confidence going into today.
I think all of the teams here are pretty talented curlers.
They are.
You don't just make it to provincials. You have to work hard to get here. So these are all really good curlers, and I think they all have what it takes to win.
Yeah. So this Michaud team were the runners-up last year at the provincial championship. So I know it's their second full season together, and again, just like all the teams here, they will have worked really hard to make sure they're at their optimum performance level for this week. So we'll see what they bring us today.
Yeah, interesting. It's early in the day too.
Yeah.
I think both teams played later in the day yesterday.
They had afternoon games actually.
Yeah.
So the boys were on the early or the middle of the day schedule today, and they played 2 games. The girls played 2 yesterday, and will only play 1 today because this evening at 8:00 there's a banquet for the athletes and coaches and sponsors and various participants of the event.
Yeah. Looks like we have a few spectators braving the cold out there today too. It's great that you provide blankets for them.
Yeah, the committee thought that would be a nice touch.
Yeah, it's a really nice touch.
Yeah.
It's cold out there.
Mm-hmm. When the event's over, the blankets are being donated to a local shelter for homeless youth as well.
What a great idea.
Yeah. I wrapped myself in one yesterday. They're comfy and warm. So.
Solid 10.
Yeah, I think so too.
So the
Yeah, I go.
Molnar team has hammer.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Was successful in blanking the first end, and then I think are content to run it up and down for the second end as well, given
looks
that they
like
threw
it.
their first rock in the rings.
Yeah.
I noticed this was pretty much the standard operating procedure with the girls yesterday, but in game one, the boys across the board all seem to mix it up a bit more. So we'll see at what point the Molnar team decides to make a move with their hammer.
Yeah, sometimes it's a good idea to do this just until they get comfortable and get a feel for things, and then when they're ready, they'll start putting lots of rocks in play.
Clean. We're good. Good throw.
So on the other sheets, I look across quickly, and Key, who managed to steal a victory yesterday in their opening game, opened with a 3 against James Harris. So both those teams were winners yesterday. Singer and Scott, they haven't hung their score, but I'm going to suggest it's a blank given that they haven't hung their score. And Cuddy opened with a point against Caldwell on sheet 8.
Lots of nose hits here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got a cowbell. I heard a cowbell. Right on.
How are the athletes liking the ice this week? It looks great.
So far, so good. From what I've heard, they're for some of the teams.
Yep, really
A
hard.
few of the teams that played here,
Really
if you're
hard.
from Region 2, we've hosted the junior regions the last 2 seasons. So some
We're
of
good,
these teams
we're good,
have
we're good, we're
have
good.
played here a few times. A couple of the boys' teams came out before Christmas and spent some time on the ice. And but for most of them, they're so used to playing in events like this that it takes them only a couple ends, one way up and down, to get a feel for what the ice is going to do, and then they just keep communicating about it throughout the game and figuring out the subtle changes that occur. But I know that the early end draws seem to be upwards of about 25 seconds, and you can put the broom out into the 12-foot to get to the middle, so I think most curlers will be pretty happy with that type of ice surface. You can make any shot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, another good hit. Nose.
Too much ice.
So Stephen Molnar, who skips the game and calls the game, actually throws third rock, so he's in the hack now. And Marshall will be holding the broom for him. They'll be looking, I think, to roll this one into the rings to continue this open end of play. It's just though he's going to either nose hit or roll a little. Nope, he made it. Our angle's a little slightly off here, so it's like,
Yeah, we're not right behind the
No.
sheet this time.
What weight was that? That was 5?
Now Michaud wants
That felt like
to hit this one and roll a little bit towards center.
soft.
Ooh. Sheet C just cleared their entire house out with one shot. This looks pretty good. It's going to roll out though.
it did roll out. I think it just maybe was a little bit softer weight than
What's the draw
Pascal
weight
was expecting, or it took a sudden movement that they weren't expecting. But they'll learn from that and put the broom in a different spot, or throw the rock a bit differently for the next time.
Just do a little less than his first. Just do a little less than his first. I said that. I don't know.
Maybe a little light. Look up, guys. Look up. Look up.
Now, have all the provinces had their
Look up.
provincials yet? I know several of them
clean
have
it, clean it.
finished.
Several have finished, and I believe Quebec is still playing. Alberta declared their champions yesterday, I think, and
What
so
time
did
was that?
Saskatchewan. BC was last weekend. So I think Ontario is probably one of the later provinces to declare its champion.
Okay.
Manitoba has not yet either. I think Manitoba is just getting getting started as well.
I threw a
Northern
7
Ontario
all night.
wrapped up
So
on Tuesday, I believe.
So our Ontario team won't have too far to go.
They won't. Just down the road to Stratford. And it's always fun to be the hometown team, so I'm sure whoever's successful here will have a great fan base.
It's always nice to have a big fan base when you're curling at an event that big. And Stratford's a beautiful city too.
It is. So there was this. Steven slid his rock through the ring, so now it's given the advantage back to Michaud's team for them to get an opportunity to check out a draw path in the second end. The sweepers are not looking very involved with this shot, and I think this one may slide a bit deep as well. Hanging on, but no.
That's in.
Can't really tell if that's
Yeah,
on.
I'm not sure.
13-2-5.
Might be a great opportunity for the Marshall team to throw one in front of that and see if they can turn this end
13-2-5.
into a deuce.
13-2-5.
Looks as though blank is going to be their plan if they opt to hit it.
Well, it must be really close there. Stephen's looking closely at that.
That's the trick. Keeps us away from that mess. If he rolls out for you, freeze.
I would suggest if Marshall rolls out on this shot, you'll see the Michaud team go over and play a draw somewhere in front of the red one that's off the rings on the other side of the sheet. But he's going to be in the ring, so they'll, sticking with their end plan, hit that and let the Marshall team take a run at the blank. At this point, perfect.
Oh, thank you.
At this point, the Michaud team, they're not really too fussed about whether the Marshall team or Molnar team opts to blank this end. It's an even end, and they'll, I would suspect, go hard in the third end to try and force the Molnar team into taking a point in order to get last rock advantage back in the even ends for themselves. So always something to keep in mind is what the scoreboard's telling you as well.
Yeah. There's sure a lot to think about out there.
Well, I know you've coached youth before, as have I, and sometimes you think, are they even thinking? I think these guys are thinking.
Yeah, they seem like they have it pretty much together.
Clean. Clean.
Like we were talking about before, you don't get to this level without thinking about all of that stuff. But it does take a little while, a little bit of practice for them to get to that point.
Yeah.
Nice sweep. Good weight.
You got it.
Good sweep.
And thinking ahead, too. They have to think pretty far ahead. Reading the ice is so important, and knowing your players, knowing how they throw. If the players can throw very similar releases and that kind of thing, it makes it so much easier on the skip when it's time to put the broom down.
Yep, hard.
That is definitely true.
Hard. Whoa, Brandon.
Oh, I know this team is employing the, as
roll
many
it.
of the teams out here, especially on the
Oops.
boys' side, the one sweeper method. So they had one sweeper holding it a bit and then decided they wouldn't mind seeing it curl, so use the other fellow. Blank end. On we go to N3. So let's see if my prediction is true. If Michaud was interested in forcing, his opening call should be to throw this rock tight and short of the rings on the center line. But he doesn't care, obviously. He continues to blank N3, so he's going to throw it in. I will expect that we will see a similar shot pattern. Wow.
That's pretty good.
Well, his thinking is on a different wavelength.
Where's it?
And neither is wrong. Neither is right. It's just what your team is comfortable with. So it looks as though, even though he asked for it in the rings, Jamie played call my own shot and threw it short.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing, according to my plan. Molnar's team is responding with the we want to continue to blank call, which is the draw to the open side. choosing not to engage in around the center guard. So this is an interesting call that you see happen a fair amount. Some teams use it more than others, which is
Line's good.
they'd want this rock to sit somewhere back of the tee line, out in the wings in the open, forcing the Michaud team to make a choice. Are they going to use their center guard and generate some offense around there, or are they going to continue to play defense and hit the open rock? They'd like it behind the tee line so that if the Michaud team does hit it and roll behind the guard, they'll be behind the tee line. So that's a perfect shot. And
I prefer hitting
Pascal's
this,
thinking,
yeah.
and they've decided they are going to hit it. So really important here for Jamie to hit and stick on this rock. And then I would expect that you will see the Molnar team continue to play some hits. And if at any point the Michaud team rolls out, they'll go up and peel that center guard. They can still create some offense out of this play if they actually opt to freeze to this yellow rock instead of hitting it.
Sorry guys, I thought it was 10.
So let's see if he's got that. Nope, not that plan.
Love to hit. Love to hit. Now that's one thing that I remember because I've coached a lot of boys teams, and they don't like seeing the opponent's rocks in the house, so they like to get rid of those ones.
Clean, whoa.
But like you said, you got to manage the scoreboard and think about what end you're in, and timing can be really important
when you make your move.
Yeah.
Keep saying 9. Just keep saying it. Drill into his head. 9.
Molnar's team, given that they have a hammer, clearly has a game plan on how to play Michaud's team. What is going to be interesting to see how long it takes the Michaud team to get forward with this style of play and decide that they're going to force the issue even though they don't have hammers.
And that's a good word.
Yeah, bored. That's what happens. I find teams just go, this is boring.
Enough of this. Let's
do
play a game.
Norm!
Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, I've seen games where this goes on for quite a long time.
This may be one of them.
Yeah.
Clean, close, yep. Whoa, clean. Whoa.
The sun's going to roll out. Okay, so now we're going to change it up because it's going to give the Michaud team a pass at getting around their center guard they threw up.
It has picked up a hair yard. Top 8, top 12's okay.
Well, with this kind of play, it makes for a fast game, that's for sure.
Tolerance is top house, anywhere. You got it. Early! Line's good! Sack! Sack first here! Need lots of room!
It's got a ways to curl, hasn't it?
It does it. You're going to see Zach Shirtliff with the hair broom moving to the
guys,
inside.
all the way! It's coming in nice now! Hard!
The hair brooms really help.
Hard, Jamie! Go! All the way! And go!
That hair broom in combination
Look
with
at
the
that.
ice surface.
Nice throw.
Great
sweep,
sweep.
Zach.
At least half buried behind that guard.
That was nicely done.
Yeah, I don't mind this. If you get the guard, that's okay.
Now he looks like he wants to just throw a lighter takeout weight and try and clip that one out.
Yeah, if he can hit what he can see with probably a controlled weight hit, he'll just go into the wing somewhere and draw play back over there.
Hard!
Probably not too worried.
Hard, right up, hard!
Get it out of the way.
However, if he was going to hit the guard, he wanted to hit it a lot harder.
That's right. Yeah, get rid of it completely.
Allow the Michaud team to what's called double guard this rock and cut off the access on the intern side of the sheet.
Yeah, so they're going to come in a little closer, I would think, so that it's a little more difficult to pick it out.
Where's
Zach? I remember Zach when he was just a little guy, a little baby. bantam curler.
Mine's really wide.
I don't know. I think it might be.
Mine's really wide. Get it in. Get it in. Yeah, it's all
20.
there. Okay,
This
go.
is probably his last kick at the old junior can, as they say. I'm not exactly sure.
You gotta get it in.
I know that the season is broken up in the middle with the ages. I think it's the end of June or the end of July or something.
Yeah, I think it's the end of June. Yeah.
So that didn't go. They
Sure.
his weight was a little heavier than they wanted, but you can see that rock did not make much of a move at all. So must have had somewhat of a different
Half a rock.
release, which we were talking about
Okay.
before, than decaballs or desh ball. No, I think it's deck.
Yeah,
C
dash,
hard. No, it's not. It's not the way I want to push.
Detch.
Detch.
Whoa.
Thanks. When they watch this back, they can appreciate
Decibel.
that.
It's a very unusual name. I had to ask him. How do you
Yes.
say this?
So an attempt at a double
Yeah, that
there
rock didn't
go.
really curl. That wasn't really anywhere near where he wanted it.
No. So the Molnar team was able to attempt to make a double, and although they hit both the rocks, did not remove one from play.
Okay.
So the Michaud team's going to be hitting to lay 2. So at this point, the Michaud team's feeling pretty good about it, because
I'd rather you
even
stick right
if this
there.
end just progresses as this goes on, they'll force the Molnar team to take that single point. That's a victory for the team without hammer, and scoring 2 or more is a victory
Clean. Yep.
for the team that has hammer. So
Yeah, you gotta hold the line here. Really hard. Really hard.
this one is
Wait, whoa.
curling and
Jamie, a little.
Michaud sweeping hard, finishing it up.
Nose.
That's a good spot. Real good. Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, I was just wondering about the angles on those rocks.
It looks like we're getting forced here.
Oh, there you go.
Like which
See on
camera?
our overhead camera.
There is a guard out there. Now that guard looks
You
like
like
a
that tree?
sort of.
Do you ever like
between the
this?
two that are in the
Jake
house.
here?
Yeah, exactly. I can't see.
Yeah, but like
I would expect the way
out
that the
there.
ice is moving, they could
Like
get
bury it
inside
behind the
bottom
guard.
of those routes,
Yeah.
with the weight.
You think?
We're just having a little
not there.
discussion
That's
here.
not there?
No, that's not. You're not going.
What, do you want to hit then?
Let's listen to them then.
What do you guys like? Norm, let's try and get a double.
Well, they've made a decision. It looks like that's going to be a hit.
Bill.
Close. Close, real close, guys. Real hard. Jeez.
So an attempt at sort of a half rock double.
Hopefully we get a piece of it buried.
Yeah. They're half buried.
10 right here.
Where's the
The
break?
show team will continue to hit this one,
out-
try and
this is right
roll
on the
back
ridge.
into the middle
Oh,
and
okay.
congest the
So yeah,
scoring
just
area
watch it the entire way down.
You got
for
it.
later on
Go
and
good 10.
for Marsh's last
Right
2
there.
shots.
It'll probably break at the hog line with 10. Right there. Yeah.
So we got some interesting ends going on at sheet C. Sorry, it's right next door to the one we're broadcasting.
It's kind of hard not to look over there.
After Key opened with a 3, Harris was attempting to get something going, and I looked over twice, and I saw 2 different players play a run back on rocks he had buried. So he was then forced to score a single. But Key with hammer is continuing to go for it and put some rocks in play. Harris, however, has rocks in front of those rocks that are clustered around the 4-foot, so this should be interesting. And they're still playing the soft weight, so we'll see. And some rocks get moving.
9-8.
Close. Whoa. Zach. Whoa. No. I lied. Zach. Hard, Zach.
Hard, Zach. All the way down. Go.
That's fine.
The Michaud team, like
My
a
bad,
number of
guys.
teams out
9-3.
there, has,
Just a little
Okay.
different
Yeah.
Do you like the draw?
sweeping broom holding order than their throwing order. Jamie Waters, who throws lead
It looks
rocks
like we're getting
between
forced,
the
unless
Pepsi
you want to go
and,
for the
manages
double.
the house on
If we came like right
the
here,
rocks that Pascal throws.
we'd be in pretty good shape. You like that?
Short lift to sweep.
Draw weight's picking up a lot.
I think it's. I like it when I see teams who switch up the order. You know, it just means that they're playing to their strengths.
Exactly.
And using their teammates in a way that is best for the team.
Exactly. The Cuddy team, we watched them yesterday. They have the same sort of thing. Matt Allen comes into the house. Gone are the days where you could bury a player somewhere in the lineup. Everybody has to be able to make all of the shots now.
Line's good.
Yeah, like you said, you might as well put people
Line's
who
real good, guys.
plays to their strengths.
Where's
That's
the weight? Switch.
So the Marshall
Switch.
team, recognizing they're going to get forced to one anyway.
Where's the weight?
has
Where's the
opted
weight?
to,
Whoa, if you can, guys.
Draw and try to
Just
create
Jacob,
some
just
offense
Jacob,
of
just
their
Jacob.
own with their skips.
Okay, go. Yep.
2
Hard.
shots, and
Get
they
shot.
try
Hard.
and create a skips deuce.
Real good throw.
So nice weights.
Great sweeping on that.
Yeah,
on that
they
rock.
would have liked that rock to curl a little more
Wait.
and
Sorry?
get somewhere in front of that yellow to make
What do you need?
its removal more challenging.
Really? Okay.
What were you saying?
I was thinking more here. But I like yours. Yeah. You got it. Just hack.
Feels
I
about as
imagine this shot will be weight sensitive too. If he throws it up a little bit, it's just not going to curl.
exactly.
This is where, when you get in the hack, you have to really have your head in order and make sure that you look at the broom
You gotta hit it
and
pretty fast.
believe what the rock's going to do and trust it and throw the right weight.
Yep.
Yeah, these rocks are new to the club this year, and that is their tendency. With with the up weight, you can hold them fairly straight, and obviously get lots of curl with softer weight. So putting the in the stop for the weight you're going to throw is imperative.
Really hard.
So they've got
Really hard, Joshua. Really hard. Gotta go.
pressure, brushing it right
Hard!
on, which means that
Hard, you got it. Go. Hard. Go. Hard.
And his brother
Good shot.
made,
Sweeping save that one, didn't
made
he?
that cut for him. I guess that's what brothers do.
Yeah.
Brothers and teammates.
So it must be really nice. Your members must be happy with the new rocks.
They are, yeah. It's, this club was built in 1959, the curling section here at Missisauga Golf Country Club.
Yeah, it went all the way
golf
out.
course
Easy. I didn't even
was,
touch it.
Founded in 1906, so curling
Good
came
weight.
along a little while later, and
Great
we,
sweep.
up until
Yeah.
the season, were working
Awesome.
with those original set of rocks that we had from 1959. So
Wow.
they were in need of a rest.
I would say.
Where?
So
Where is
draw
it?
against 3 is never
Is
as
it
easy
good?
as it might appear, and
Sweepers are staying right off of that
yeah,
one.
it looks as though he took all of the broom, but
Yep.
it is
Whoa.
finishing up,
Whoa.
so it'll really be a weight.
Whoa.
Going to get a little tick.
Yep.
Somewhere
Oh,
close.
nice. Yeah,
He
you got
is
a
successful.
got shot rock.
So the
force.
Molnar team will feel happy that the draw against
really
3 is
heavy.
successful,
Yeah,
but the Michaud team will feel happier that they've forced him to not end and get to
Yeah,
manage
nice job.
the hand.
Good force.
for
Good
the
juice here.
I would expect that we're going to see the Michaud teams.
Yeah. Let's get some rounds and play. Corner guard. Yeah, definitely. Let's go. Let's go.
What do you think that was? Back 12? Easy.
I feel that the first ball from the Molnar team is going to be throw this in the top 4, and there'll be a corner guard thrown by the Michaud team. See how it goes.
3. Line's good. A little tight.
Oh, he's calling a center guard, I think.
That would not be the choice that my team would
3
make.
guys.
But
3.
knowing that most likely the Michaud team is going to throw the corner guard.
Yep.
But some teams like to throw
you
the
can,
guard
guys,
first
if
and
you
then come
can.
around it. Other teams throw the rock in and then guard it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever each team
That's
is
real
comfortable
Yeah,
good.
everybody has a style they
Yep.
like, right?
with. Neither's wrong, right or wrong. So the Michaud
6.
team is
We're going to
feeling
use that
fairly
guard.
comfortable that guard can actually work out as a center guard and moved itself off into cover in the part of the forefoot.
Where is it?
And are going to use it themselves and come around it.
Line's good. Lots of room still. Close, Zach. Yeah, Zach. Okay, well good. Close. Line's
Mine's
this,
great. Yeah, Zach,
as
a
you
little
can
if
see,
you
is
need it.
curling nicely. And
You can't. No.
as long as the weight stays above the tee line, they'll be happy with the shot. It's gonna slip
It's
in
a little
behind
heavy.
and allow to. There's a lot of curl in the house, and it actually
board.
probably is completely exposed on the other side.
So they're going to have to think about that because the sweepers didn't even put their brooms down for that
No.
shot, and it still went right to the back 12 foot.
Yeah.
No. I noticed that.
Yep.
Maybe he's picking up a hair.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Just Jacob. Yeah, hard, Jacob, hard. That's a good shot.
Still say we come around.
So let's see what Michaud does. He's happy to hit and roll.
I don't like
or
this either. I like
shall we
that.
draw around?
Yeah.
I say draw around. Let's go. Yes.
Now, Molnar hit that yellow rock. Would you have done that, or would you have frozen down to
I
it?
probably might have come down and froze to it because he made the shot as well as he could. And
five.
advantage
Mine's
to
good.
showed that rock behind the tee and was really a guard.
Mine's good. It's got to
Michaud
move. Lots of
can
room
use,
still. Go if you need it.
especially given that you've got the same player
Close,
calling
yeah,
the same
go.
shot twice.
Right.
The chances of improving
Okay.
their outcome is
Only for weight here.
increased. And you can see that this time the brushes are
Finish
working
it, go.
a
Yeah,
bit
hard,
to
Ishmael.
move that rock into the ring. And they've ended up with it
Great throw.
essentially buried with a red rock in the way.
Nice sweeping, guys.
Molnar's response would be to try and just freeze down on top of it in hopes that they can shrink the scoring area for the Michaud team.
I always like to use the sweepers. When I'm in the hack, I'm always thinking, okay, I'm going to make these guys work.
Oh, for sure. You got them out there for something. They got to do something.
Well, I know on your team, you've got great sweepers on
We
your team.
do. Melissa and Steph are very, very good brushers. And we like to make them. They like to work. So this rock is curling on a much different trajectory for
He doesn't know much.
the red team and is encroaching on their guard, which they're not going to be too happy about. The weight looked really close.
That's good.
Yeah, I think the weight was pretty good.
Mhm.
Just curled. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if he was online there, but it just curled a little too much.
Hit and roll off the
So
guard.
over on sheet 8, after the
Off that one,
opening
yeah.
single by Cuddy, we
Yeah.
have a couple of blanks, 2 and 3.
If you do
follow
this, that's fine.
everything.
I
So
like that.
up and down they go.
Yeah, even if
Over
you
on
just roll a
sheet
bit, that's not bad.
B, the Singer
9.
Scott team managed in the third end to use their hammer to get a 3. So they're
Right,
up
you
3
got
to
it.
1 on Singer. And that game with lots of rocks in play on sheet C
half
just
to three
had a
quarters,
coach's timeout. And it looks like the key team with hammer is
Yes!
sitting a couple in the 4 foot. So
Yes!
They scored a nice 3. That's got to feel good when you score 3.
Hard!
Quite a double peel.
Nice throw.
yeah, I think that they'll be happy with that. They managed to move the red rock sort of out of the
I like this.
center of
Across the
rings
face.
and cover the yellow one at the same time.
You like Norm?
So Molnar's going to use try and use those
Sure.
yellows. Okay, thank you.
So he's trying to run this back.
Run
I
this
guess,
back, yeah. Get rid of those yellows.
Whoa!
And,
Whoa!
There's a jam possibility there too,
Whoa.
so he's
Yeah.
got to be careful.
Yep, Brandon, yep.
they would not be happy if that were the case.
Yeah.
Close, yeah, but that yellow rock is sitting right out there.
Yeah. So
I like the split. I like that.
Pascal's considering using a bit heavier
Flip it
weight
over.
and splitting it and trying to move his 2
Back 8
rocks
foot weight, just roll.
apart in the rings.
Back 8, back
I always find
12.
the split such a tough shot.
Yeah.
It's like you overthrow it, you miss the whole thing, you underthrow it, you group your stones. I played with Mary Chilvers for a couple of seasons years ago, and she was like, "Don't play the split."
Just
Hey, go
can get in your head.
Where's it?
So it looks as though they're
Hey.
brushing it a bit for weight.
Clean. lead. Yeah, hard.
More importantly for line, so we'll see how the split works out for
Yeah,
them.
gotta
The
go,
line
gotta
is pretty
go, gotta
important
go.
here. It looks a little light.
Hard,
maybe.
yes.
So as suggested, those rocks now are in a very doubleable position for the yellow team, or definitely a nice hit and roll. So those splits are tough.
Yeah, so this is a good call. If he makes this call, he'll be sitting right in front of that yellow one, so it'll be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm like guys.
Again, out of hand, they're going pretty hard on this one.
Close, yep!
Sweepers are on
Yes!
off. You got the pre-spin double looking like it's potential here.
Hard!
Oh, look at that.
Oh, they needed to keep brushing that. They just needed to clip
Yeah,
a bit bigger piece of the...
It's amazing how the rock can jump as soon as you lift your broom. You know, you lift your broom just for a second, and it just goes.
I don't know if I love this.
Interesting. This Michaud team,
I like that
I've watched
too.
them play, but I haven't watched them play a lot.
As
And
long as we roll in,
seems like
we
they do a
have to make
lot
sure we
of
get
shot
in.
selection by committee. Pascal looks for a lot of buy-in from his team, which
I
is
kinda like their draw.
is just a different style than you see from some skips. You've got a bunch of
Yeah.
different types of skips out there, but
I
he
like
likes
that.
to make sure
Five.
that everybody buys in.
6 isn't
Shot.
bad,
I wonder
but
if they have a different
Five's-
trouble with
five's better.
time management because of this.
5-6. You got it.
Yeah, that's the only problem when you get that discussion going.
Yep.
Now, are all of the team members, have they all been skips before? Do you
I know Jamie's been a
7,
skip. I
6.
don't believe
Well, then, 8,
or
let
the
it
second
grab.
she's been.
9,
He's as long as I've known these two
Baby
boys,
group.
they've sort of played skip and second.
Let it
Zach has been a back-end player, I think, for a big chunk of his career. So there'd definitely be a lot of knowledge about shot selections and ice reading from the group. So that's probably what makes them a pretty strong team.
That works.
Right.
I know that I coached Jamie a number of years ago in Bantam Mixed.
Or
He
do you
played.
guys like coming right to it?
He skipped my daughter Jess.
Tyler, do you like
played,
coming here?
Third. Eric Brady, who's on the Kieran Scott
Oh.
team, was our second, and
Oh,
Leah
no.
Will from
What'd you
the
think?
Murphy team was our lead. And
That's the draw?
they were a group of 14 and 15-year-olds at Bantam Mixed, and we finished second. Had a lot of fun.
That's pretty
And,
good.
Yeah, so. Jamie's a great player to coach. He was
Pretty good.
very open to
Look up, guys. Look
trying
up.
lots of things I was
Look
suggesting.
up,
for them.
guys.
He listened to you? He did.
Whoa.
That's good.
Jacob's got to go tight. Jacob, just Jacob. Just Jacob.
Now, both of your kids are pretty good curlers. Hale's a good curler, too. He's got his team, and
Yeah, they were hoping to be here as well this week, but with less than stellar play at the regions.
it happens. We've all been there, right?
Yep, exactly. So
I like the run too. Yeah, I like that.
so nice come around freeze by Steven there to look like help his team out when the Michaud team was laying 2.
I was thinking 8 and
Got, 3 rocks left for the Michaud team. They've got to consider whether they want to start a freezing game in the middle of the in the 4-foot, but they've opted instead to open up the scoring area a bit by playing a run back. So with a successful run back of this red, they'll probably lose one of the yellows as well.
Whoa. No, not yet. Close. Yep. Whoa. Close. Yes. Go, go, go. That's good.
So they unlocked that frozen rock, but unfortunately stuffed the shooter still in the 4-foot. So advantage back to the Molnar Marshall duo.
Or you like the draw for
Decide
the
how
steal?
they want to play the rest of the send out. If they want
Like
to
the hit?
go big time
Okay.
defense, they'll hit the yellow. If
Try
they
and
want
get here,
to put a bit of pressure on the Michaud
Control,
team,
or-
they play a come around to the top 4-foot
You
on
got
that
it.
rock that's out front. Because just like the Michaud team left them 2 rocks behind the tee line, when they hit this, they will leave the Michaud team 2 rocks behind the tee line with 2 guards out front and 2 rocks left to play. So a deuce is definitely in play.
Yeah. Behind the tee line versus in front of the tee line is a huge difference.
Certainly is.
Now, one shot that I haven't been seeing a lot of lately is the tick protect the guard.
Yeah, I haven't seen in the few games I've watched. I haven't seen
Close!
anybody use it yet either. But I think the men
Whoa!
are not as
Close!
quick to go
Whoa!
to the tick
Whoa!
as the women are because
Close, yep.
they're fairly confident that they're all going to make a double peel at some point in the end, whereas the women's game likes to use that
Where do you
tick
want to come
and
at it?
see if they can keep the scoring area open.
Yeah.
I prefer this way because we haven't played this side out here.
Do you? 10?
Yeah, a
Pascal's
10 here.
opting to use that red ball.
That's not great.
hits.
That's fine.
Roll.
I'd rather make him do something, of course.
Quite
I'd
a
rather.
ways.
I mean,
you
big
can
roll's
make the
better than
shot
nothing.
quite a few ways. You can
That's enough ice there?
make the hit and roll
I'll
right
give
in
you a
front
little
of
more.
the
Like
red
that.
ball, gets back 4 foot. He can roll a little farther and partially cover his rock
Nice
behind
hit and roll
his
here.
own yellow guard. He could
Let's go.
thin and make a double, or he could ignore them all and drop, but he's opting to play the hit. He's still at this point
Yeah.
hasn't set up exactly the way he'd like
10.
it, so if he gets out of it with a blank, he'll be okay with that. So we're on sheet C in that sequence of shots that was looking really good. The key team obviously managed to get their rocks in the right place and scored a 4. So that game's sort of a runaway at 7-1 now.
Yeah,
after
they're-
3 ends.
Key team is pretty happy right now, I would think.
Yeah, they dodged a big bullet yesterday in their game against Russell Cuddy. So perhaps they're paying homage to Curling as they say, coming out and playing a bit better. So this is not curling as much as Pascal wanted it to curl, and he's ended up with a nose hit.
Now he took a little bit more ice. He checked with Jamie about the ice, and Jamie felt that he needed a little bit more. So,
and I think I saw him mention to his sweepers that he might have put it out, just got it straightened
I
out
like
to
here.
the broom a
You like
bit.
that?
yeah.
Okay, you got it.
So this gives the Marshall team an opportunity to make a hit and roll back in towards the middle and stack the rocks into the 4 foot and force the Michaud team to play some sort of a double to get out of it, or have to draw to a very small piece of the scoring area.
It's always nice to force the other team to do that. It really puts the pressure on.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Whoa.
They took about the same amount of ice.
Whoa.
We'll see if they get a different
Close! Close!
curl.
Whoa! Just Jacob!
Finishing up a bit.
Hard.
Running. So I think both teams
That's
there
good.
have figured out that there might be a bit of a straighter spot with weight out in the 12 foot.
Right there, 10. You got it.
So Pascal's shot became significantly simpler without that roll, and he gets to play just a weight shot down to the shot rock and score his 1 and tie up the game.
So key over on sheet C is going to be. They look like they're hitting everything over there.
Yep. The rock stops, hit it.
Yep. Really hard.
They're calling for really hard out of his hand.
Hard.
And Zach, who's I think one big muscle,
Hard, you got it, go!
with some excellent brushing, held it for a point for his team. So one sweeper
Poor
shot
Zach, he's looking a little tired out there.
for Michaud, one sweeper shot for Shirtliff.
Well, that's why you got to stay in shape when
Yep.
you're curling.
These guys are on the Michaud team are quite the athletes outside of curling as well. I know I've talked to the Michaud brothers before. They're both big-time ultimate frisbee players. And
Really?
Yep. And they've played at the Canadian Ultimate Frisbee Championships.
Wow.
Yeah. And Zach, I know, spent a year over in Britain playing rugby a few years back.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Rugby's a tough sport.
Yeah.
Now, in Ultimate Frisbee, I've never played that before. Is there a lot of running?
There is a lot of running. I've never played. I've watched people play. And I wish I knew all the rules and things, but I know, let me try and do this. It's something to do with bits of
T-line,
basketball, about how far you can move with the frisbee. It's got scoring
Are
of
we
football.
coming down at all?
You run like soccer. and
T-line, guys.
For anybody who plays Ultimate out there, they're like, just be
Switch,
quiet.
switch.
Just
Stick with the
talking.
curling,
Yep,
Murph.
stick with the curling, so that's what I'm going to do.
It's you said that Zach spent a year over in
real
Britain playing rugby. It's worth noting that he really is a national. It wasn't just 1 year he went over and played rugby. He's a national level rugby athlete.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why he spent a year.
That's
over
why he spent a year. Yeah. He didn't just say, "Oh, I think I'll go to England and play some rugby." Yeah.
Watch the sweeping technique on the Michaud team. Zach and Deshball between them are about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really good sweepers, and they're fully committed to that sweep too.
So let's see what the Molnar team's doing here for N5. They are playing a similar shot selection, tactic selection
T-line, guys.
to sheet 3.
Switch.
Or sorry,
Switch.
N3. Playing to the wing. They're just choosing the other wing.
Let's see.
If they look back, they can see that in N3 they managed to get forced to one. So you're going to continue to see in N5 if their shot selections results end in a different result.
It's a little heavy.
I think they're still looking for the blank. Michaud, starting to get bored. Remember I told you? You might get bored.
Yeah.
Might get bored.
Time to draw around.
Yep, he's like, I'm going to ignore your rock out there, and I'm going to use that center guard I put up. Trying to force the Molnar team to a single and 5, or maybe even create a steal situation for himself.
Well, at this point, I'm sure they're comfortable with the weight and the ice.
Hold it a bit. Hold it if you can here. Where is it?
Only
Where
line.
is it?
9, 8, 7.
Sit down.
Good.
I think we just play this. What weight do you like? Here or here? Okay.
I think he can see probably half that rock.
So great weight, but played that a little close to the guard, and because of the finish of these rocks, as they continue to curl in the house, this rock exposed itself on the other side.
Close.
See how Jacob does with this.
Close. Yep. Hard.
Seems to be
Hard.
struggling a
Hard,
bit
right up,
with
hard.
his line of delivery today. He's ticked a few guards along the way here.
Sorry about that.
It's not something he's really probably going to make any adjustments for throughout the middle of the game, but maybe his skip could just widen up that broom for him a bit.
Help him out.
I like this. And
Looks like he throws it pretty straight, just seems to be sliding a little tight. So Team Michaud now is just going to hit that open red rock and play 2 and see how the game plays out for them.
clean. Clean. Yep. Right.
No guards in
They're
play.
gonna-
Yeah, they're just going to hit
Let's
rocks,
get-
try and make a double out of it
Try and get the
somehow.
double, yeah.
So on sheet A, Caldwell, after a series of blanks, used his hammer to generate a deuce and is up 2-1 over Cuddy.
Close.
The Singer team
Whoa.
responded
Whoa, yep,
in N4
yep.
with a 3 of their
Whoa,
own
whoa,
after
Whoa.
Scott team had scored
Right
3 in
on.
the third end, so that's a 1-point game, 4-3 for Singer. And sheet C continues to go all red. The key team is laying 2.
You like
And
guard?
the Harris
I like
team
a
is
guard.
throwing, trying to overcome a 6-point deficit.
Okay.
You have good eyes. Can you read those cards at the end there?
Well,
I need new glasses.
That's tolerance, Zach.
keep in mind, as one of the organizers of the event, I type these teams' names a
Right.
lot.
You know where everybody
I
is.
know where everyone is.
2, 3.
Yeah. I obviously didn't choose a large enough font size for our printmaker. For the team scoreboards at the other end, they are a little bit smaller than we would like.
Yeah, talk to me next time,
Yeah.
will you?
Line's perfect. We're 3. Line's perfect, guys.
So the double was not successful, and
Beauty.
they rolled out with a shooter, and
Is the top one in?
the Michaud team is
No.
really trying to force
I like
this
that.
by throwing a center guard.
I got more than half. What weight is that?
So they're going to hit this, and I guess they want to flop behind the guard.
Yeah. Just sweep one.
I would think they are actually going to want to flop open. A flop behind the guard puts the advantage back into the Michaud team's hands.
Right, they'll
because
just freeze down
they'll
to
just
it,
freeze
right?
down to it or
Right.
draw around and
Yep.
use the guard they threw up.
Yep.
Which is something
Real
that
hard.
the Molnar team might want to consider doing for themselves if they wanted to generate some. Okay, so let's see what if Michaud calls the same shot again.
Same spot, Zach.
Yep, just a tight center.
Yeah, same weight, and then we'll get a hair. We're gonna hair right. About the same.
One. The line's better. It's good.
Yeah, he
get
likes
it
the
in?
line on this rock better than the last one. I'm not sure if
Go
we have the
it.
broom
Get
in,
it in
in the
here.
same spot or not.
The both sweepers are going now, which must mean they want to carry it further for weight.
Just in. Just in.
So he's managed to put
Great.
his rock
Go,
in
go,
a
shot. Nice
very
throw.
similar position.
It's
Great throws.
still leaves the other rock open.
Is the top one in? Is that in? Is it in? Yes. Yeah? Okay.
Stephen's just confirming that that rock is in.
Close. Yep. Hard! Hard! Hard!
He's close to making a great double, but
Almost.
not completely remove the second rock at a play. That rock needed to curl up a smidge more in order to get that double.
I don't hate this.
I don't hate it either because we're shot.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
You think it's worth calling time for?
He's
Or?
gotta make it. See that or no? That's all there is. What do you want to throw? I like this.
I like this.
You know the weight.
Yeah.
You got it. If we hang it a hair out, that's not bad. As long as we chip off, right? Gotta make
Yeah.
sure we take tons, guys. Is this enough?
That should be good.
Okay, you got it. Just a 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yellow shot. Looks like red's probably not on the rings from our overhead camera view, but the Michaud team, recognizing that that's a guard
14-8 now.
they could use, is going to try and tuck one in behind it, I think in lay 2. $10 starting to hear some people arriving in the lounge. The
The next game.
well, I don't even know if it's the next game or the parents stopped sleeping a
That's
little
tight.
longer.
Yeah, how have the crowd's been here? Did you get a good crowd yesterday?
Hang on,
Quite a few
hang on.
people. It was nice. We have about
Whoa!
Okay,
Line's fine. Take a
All you
look.
guys. All you guys.
50
Guys,
seats,
a
I
little
think, in the
wide.
lounge, and there was
Switch if
standing
you
room
can.
only there, and
Got him in a room.
people are
Just
opting to go out and
Just
use the
go very
on-a
high.
seating, which
Gotta
is
go, gotta go, hard.
fun for the players.
Hard,
As well as for the parents. I was talking to the parents
Nice shot,
of
Pascal.
Calissa Daly from the little team, and they were saying it was so great to be out there watching, right in the rink. They've never had that opportunity before, and you get a different perspective on.
It's a great option. You
Yeah.
can hear everything that's going
You
on.
can, and you can
which is
ring your
nice.
cowbell.
No, I specifically remember one time when you were playing in the Scotties in Oakville, and we had the on-ice seating.
Yes.
Tap it.
And you're
What? Yeah. If the guard's not perfect, we either have the run or we have the hack to chip it out for 2.
Scotty's in April 208.
What?
yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah,
It was a
so,
little bit,
That's
so
yeah,
it
you
was
definitely
very-
can't get that. What? I think we just hit it open. Well, if we hit it open, he probably just hits and then it's a force. If we play that, then he probably has to play that. So if we play that, we're buried, and then he probably either freezes to us to cut the rink down, or he tries
There's
this.
3s in play here. We gotta hit something.
We've hammered.
Oh, never mind then.
I don't mind the run if you like the run. You like the run? I think that's our best chance of getting a deuce. What weight do you like? Okay.
And
I was just listening into their conversation. They're just
Okay.
talking about the best way that they can get a deuce, and they feel the run back is going to do that for them. So that's what they're going to do.
okay, we'll see, because when they make this run back, I guess they're going to want to hit it about 7/8 high, and probably close to nose. They kind of want to end up some way partly guarded as well. If they just make the run back and roll their shooter open,
Whoa!
the Michaud
Whoa!
team will just hit it and
Whoa!
be laying 2.
Right.
So it's all about
Whoa,
how you get
whoa,
the
yeah.
rocks to roll together in this situation.
Whoa! Whoa!
I think
Whoa! Right off!
going to hit a little higher than he wants. So successful with the run back, but not with the keeping it covered.
Yeah, with what they were trying to do with that shot, there really wasn't any room for error at all.
Whichever way you want.
Yeah,
But what
I
they
prefer
have
this side.
done
Let's go right
is,
here.
What are you throwing?
when Michaud makes this hit
You got it.
roll, it's only going to be partly in the 8 foot. And his Marshall will have, the entire 4 foot to draw to for his score.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a barn burner over there on B now, because after giving up field goals, each team, the Scott team has hammer, is currently laying 4. So
Wow, look at all that yellow.
yeah, and the Singer team is throwing. So let's see how this works out. Got a 5th end break in sheet A. The Caddy team looks like they were forced to 1, so it's all tied up after 5. Going to the break with Caldwell having hammer.
So here comes Pascal's shot.
A little bit of sweeping, maybe a little overswept, and it's going to
Too much of a roll.
Roll exposed. If it managed to roll out, it would give them the blank option, but it didn't.
Okay, no.
So
So got 2 biters there.
yeah. So
9-8.
a bit of a force here.
I didn't think I was that heavy.
Tyler's going to play that.
It was heavy for sure.
Well, he just has to be full 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they called it.
There's brothers Tyler and Nathan
Let's
Marshall, and
stick
it's
around. I'm
Tyler
just
that
going
is
back.
throwing, not
Yeah,
Nathan. And he is going to play the same out-turn draw that he played in the 3rd end for his point. If you recall, he was drawing against 3 in the 3rd end. So, interesting enough, they opted for the exact same tactics in 3 and 5, and in both ends have been forced to 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, when they go back and look at this game tape, as I'm sure they will,
How's the weight?
They might rethink
only
that
for
Pretty
strategy.
good, all
entertainment.
you
Only
guys.
for entertainment. They will
Line, guys.
be able to
Hard,
consider
guys,
that
hard.
as they move forward.
Hard, guys, hard. Come on, guys, get it there. Can't hurt it,
Sweepers
guys.
are going
Come on.
hard for weight.
Hard, guys,
and,
right up,
I
right up,
think
right up, right up, right up.
they are going to be close
Right up, gotta
and
go, guys, gotta go,
successful in
guys.
scoring
Gotta go.
a point. Nice brushing. Those
Good.
brushers made that shot for him.
Well, that's
And,
what you want. You
yeah.
want the brushers to be involved.
So Molnar scores 1 to go up 2-1 at the break, and we've got a 5-minute break.
Yay.
Coffee and
I like coffee. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, double.
yeah. Okay. What do you want?
Break, Brandon. Break.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't pay for it.
So the boys are hopping in the hack. They're going to play through the break. Oh, they've decided to actually take a break.
What's that?
You can't do that till you can win 2 hours of a week. He's going to pay all the boys.
Yeah. They're playing well. I think we go a little bit. I think we go a little hard for a deuce here.
We're just playing so conservative.
Yeah, it's working. It's working. So I'm saying we go a little hard for a deuce.
They're going to play they did the last time too. So, yeah, we just need to make sure like he's with his runs seems to be his best shot. So we just need to. To make sure that we're not leaving anything that's a real short post run.
Yeah.
So like when we were playing in this end, having those red ones so close, that makes it difficult, right? So we just need to make sure that we're leaving anything that's real close short.
Also,
a longer run's be much harder for us, so we can leave that time, right?
Also, yeah, we can play behind
Pardon
T.
me?
No, we've been playing behind T a little bit too much.
We've got to be really
right?
careful. If anything's behind T, we're really good.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Okay. How long do we have? 3 minutes.
Discussion.
I think we play a little more rocks and play and go for the deuce and make them miss.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the rocks and play are above 2, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They don't seem to get nervous about anything.
And then if we blank, we blank. But if he helps us, then so you just may have to look at a skips deuce somewhere along the line. But I mean, I wouldn't press the issue. Really? Yeah, no. You don't need to go to school anymore. I know. The tour, here I come.
I think we put a couple more reps in play. Try and go hard for the juice.
As long as we're careful, right? If we get something that's just behind.
I know, I'm saying if they put their center guard up, I still think we corner guard.
Yeah, if you want it.
I think we're not going to get a juice otherwise because they're good at their hits right now.
Yeah, they've been hitting on too bad.
Yeah, so
Not too bad.
I think we put up a corner guard.
A couple that have been.
A couple rocks in play.
Really accurate.
Well, they've been playing well with their hits, so.
We've had chances, and we've just, on the chances that we've had, we haven't executed 100%, right? So.
That's true.
Really nice like trying to show. Pounded right out of his hands yet.
Good sweep, good judge.
Not good judge,
No,
They
good
had
judge.
to go. No kidding. Pascal's really held there, eh? I thought it would curl a little bit.
James timed it real fast.
8.75.
I would have said it was like 9.
I got 8-7, but it's still, we're going for 10.
He's walking at me. I'm like,
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I remember that one. I was like, oh boy, that's a right off the nose, and then he made it. It worked.
Is off? Okay. Yeah. I'm good. Thanks. One more. Actually, I like here.
Okay, so here we are back in action. Sheet D, Mississauga. Molnar versus Michaud. And Michaud's got hammer for the back half, the beginning of the back half of this game.
at 3? Leave it at 3 then. Leave it at 3. Right here? Whoa, that's fine. We're good. We're good. Let's roll.
2!
What?
Let's go, guys.
Yeah, it was off.
I did well.
Line's tight! Gotta go clean! Go then hard!
We're back on? Oh, okay, great. Well, that was a quick break.
We look fine here, guys. All you
We're
guys
back,
right here.
back playing
Right
again.
to the
Didn't
orange.
take long. I got my coffee though, so I'm happy.
Yeah, so
Okay.
one of us got their coffee. How did that
I
work?
don't know. I think she can't walk through this place without saying hi to about 25 people.
Yep. Okay, line's good. Where are we? Okay, finish it, Tyler. Yeah, finish.
Just sweeping to try and get that rock buried.
Real good. That's a real good throw, Brandon.
I think it might be peeking out the side a little bit.
I like this right
Behind
here.
the tee line.
I like this side. Cool.
So they're going to come down and freeze on top of that one. So we had an official talk, so Stephen's going down to talk to his team, so maybe we'll hear what they say.
Hard. Gonna be heavier out here.
Good and we're leaving lots of room from the hog line. Someone's coming to watch. Yes.
Time concern, do you think?
Tell the other guys.
I didn't really catch all that. I think it was about the curl, the curl on the rocks from the hog line.
Oh, so that he was not communicating what the head official, Bonnie McEachran, had been chatting to him about. So let's see. Hugh, did you pick up anything? Oh, okay. Okay, we got rocks in play. 6th end. Michaud team looking to score a deuce, I would say, and the Molnar team. It's a nice setup going. So,
Line's good.
showing this come around.
Line's good. Weight's pretty good. Yep. Go if you have to. Go if you have to.
Michaud was a little light on
Right
our
up to go
shots,
line.
so
Whoa,
they ended
just
up
Tyler.
being
Yep.
guard. They were trying to freeze there.
We're good.
They
Where are
want
we?
to make sure that they keep this rock
Where are
above
we?
the tee line.
Whoa.
Whoa.
We're real good. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Real good throw.
A little heavy.
A little heavy.
Someone.
Pascal doesn't like how this is setting up anyway, so he's going to use peel that center guard and hope to grab some of those red rocks on the way by.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Go, Zach.
Must be close. He's calling on and
whoa.
off, on and off.
That's fine.
That's good. Opens it up. Didn't get the run back, but
Just the. Just the guard. Where are we? Switch! Yep! Hard, guys, hard! Hard, guys, hard!
now do you think taking that break in the middle of the game affects the ice at all?
We're good. That's real good. Great throw!
I don't think it'll significantly change anything that they would have seen. The ice makers are not doing anything to the ice. Sometimes you'll see at championships or at events the ice makers will run the mop, the big mop, up and down, and that will often keep the ice temperature pretty consistent, as if there was still sort of an end of play going on. And a lot of times you'll see teams drop the rocks a little deep in the 6th end. But I think for these guys, that quick break isn't going to make much of a difference, and the ice should be fairly similar. So this is really going Molnar's way here.
Yeah, Michaud tried that run back again, and it was a bit closer. He did tick the red rock on the button there, but wasn't able to get them out. So he's trying for the same guard.
Where? Whoa. Where?
The pressures are staying right off of that one.
Whoa.
Yeah, for them being able to throw this rock short of the rings would be better. Then it also seems that it grabbed a little bit and over-curled on them.
What's that?
So
leaves that rock
to
open.
be
On
red,
the
advantage back to Michaud to be able to play some sort of a soft weight shot. He looks like he's saying hack weighter and
board. I think he's calling board weight.
You got space. 10.
Control now.
I always tell my teams that I work with,
What's the weight?
when you really want to keep the shooter around, pick the lowest weight possible that you know the ice for, and bring everybody into the shot. Your sweepers and your
go.
throwers. The show team opted to play that with, I would say, their normal weight.
It's not really what he wanted. I think he wanted to flop over.
For sure he did, yeah.
Yep.
The send is one good hit and roll away from success for either team, I would say.
Okay.
Yep.
I think you gotta go, buddy. You gotta go hard!
Yes!
Hard!
Yes! Whoa.
Whoa.
That was not the shot they were looking for.
No.
Clearly.
Now his release looked a little bit different on that one.
I've been sliding tight on everything.
Yeah,
today.
he rolled that.
So when Hugh says he rolled it, he's a right-hand
I actually don't mind this.
playing the intern for the right-hand player, and he would have released that rock with the handle instead of at the sort of 12 o'clock, the optimum
Because we do
position,
this,
rolling
and then
it
he blasts everything out,
closer
then
to
we're
a 1
set up for
o'clock
2.
release. So
Okay.
starting the rock's path on a curl
You bump it back,
as
that's fine,
opposed to
Zach.
a straight, what we call a straight release. On curly ice, that's generally not going to work out for you.
No,
That's
once
it.
you get that rock going, it is
Yeah.
not coming back.
That's a release that a lot of teams have to put into their arsenal if they're playing at clubs that don't have rocks that curl quite as much as this. Is that you wouldn't mind a little roll or a little start to get some curl. Not necessary here at Mississauga, nor at Oakville, where we both curl as well.
Exactly.
Hard, go!
What a good looking
They want
shot
this rock
here.
to be curling
Go
more
all
than
the
it
way,
is.
all the way down. That works.
And
that works, he says.
That works. Not the best, but it might work. So just a little hit and
Did you like
flop.
that call? I liked it. Okay, it's tough.
Yeah, he
the
doesn't need
Marshall
to
team.
flop much, eh?
No.
And he'll be in front of that yellow one, and that'll be a good shot for Molnar.
We'll just go for this.
Just for that?
Yeah.
Sure. You got it. What turn? I like this turn.
Yeah.
The double's not really available to them without getting rid of that red rock they're on in the back. So
he's going to throw the out turn here.
Choose to play coming into the rock to get the roll as opposed to trying to cross the face of the rock. I think he feels that give him a better outcome with the roll.
Close. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Pressure on off, clean.
Close.
Clean.
Whoa. Okay. Sweep. Yep. That's real good.
Great little double. I guess you could play it. As I said, we're not sitting directly behind the sheet, so
I think we
Yeah, it's a little hard to see the line from here.
Yeah, but he managed to make a lovely double roll underneath the yellows, and so Team Michaud's going to have some work cut out to get a decent.
So I gave Zach here.
And his curl a lot more, don't they?
No, mine curl more than mine curl more than his.
Back 8, where do you like?
I just
T-line, right?
Yeah.
So let's all finish.
So I think I need here.
Cool. Let's do it. Just back 8 though, right? It's weight sensitive, eh?
Yeah. Maybe just a touch more.
Back 8, you got it.
The B final, and then win the B final to advance to this. So.
Little tap on their. You guys like this ice, or do you think a bit more?
He's adjusting the broom a little bit. It always looks a little different when you get in the hack.
So I noticed that Zach played a couple of shots here, and his intern, I would not say is what we would call a super positive intern, meaning he doesn't have an excessive amount of rotation. So his rocks really finish hard in the head.
Yep,
Pascal,
early.
On the other hand, throws quite a bit of rotation. You can see that his rock, I can see that his rock's already rotating 2 rotations and coming up on rotation 3 at the hog line.
All the way down.
So that would be what we consider more of a positive rotation. So the brooms would need to be in 2 different spots for them to make the same shot. Some great brushing, but
a little too much curl.
Too much curl. And,
so I think a third. It looks from here.
From our overhead, I was going to say I don't think he even got second shot out of that. Perfect weight. Perfect weight. I would say that given that the Molnar team is most likely sitting 2, where Stevens and the team would like the rock to stop, is
I like just behind the 4.
Prevent Michaud from being able to hit it and be shot rock, and forcing him out into a draw path that might be quite challenging because of the long corner guard of the Michaud's team on the right-hand side of the sheet.
I think.
With this much curl in the ice, high corner guards can sometimes get in the way of your draw to the 4-foot for your final shot. So
you don't want them up there.
Yeah, oftentimes teams, might not consider they're happy. They start the end, throw a corner guard, we're happy. But you really got to think about right from rock 1 of the end corner guard placement.
So I think they want this somewhere around the top 8. Stephen was talking about biting the 4-foot.
Yeah, I would say the max they want to do is bite the 4-foot, because if they get this rock fully into the 4-foot, the Michaud team can just nose hit it and score their point.
Yeah.
But if they stop this rock anywhere, even from tight to into the top of the 4-foot on the right-hand side of center line, the Michaud team's going to have a tricky little draw for their point.
Look up, guys, look up!
So this is really a sweeper shot, too, because
we're over-curling a bit!
But you can see that this rock's lighter than they wanted, and they're
just Jacob,
and it's really actually going to open up the draw path. That rock is irrelevant to the Michaud's.
That works too.
Well, it's irrelevant. It's. I'm not sure that it's irrelevant to the Michaud's. They've actually given him a guard, haven't they?
Well, no, this is the last rock, Huey.
What?
Yeah, this is his hammer.
I'm just going to stick to changing the camera.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I'll stick to change the camera angles. You guys call the
Pascal's a bit of a big shot player, and he was quickly looking at that yellow sequence of guards out front. Could
now I'm looking at the scoreboard.
Run those in and double out the reds and turn this into a 3. But I think risk versus reward is prevailing, and they recognize if they make this draw for 1, their game's still tied, and they are in control of the even ends.
So this will be. He's got to throw the right weight here.
Yeah, because as you can see, if it's a little bit light, as Tyler's rock was, it curls early, and the brushers aren't going to be able to hold it for line.
No, and he's got that long guard that he has to get by too.
Yeah.
So this is not an easy shot.
His weight from the last shot was exactly where he wanted it to be, so I think he just needs to throw the same weight and probably give himself a couple inches more room. And this is where his positive rotation will help him. So again, he looks like he's let that go with plenty of rotation. And the brushers are just sort of cleaning it right now. They're not concerned.
Line's good!
This is a weight shot.
Wait only, all weight now, guys.
So forfeits available to him, and we got a brusher cleaning it. It's going to be close.
Sit.
And why? He gets paid the big bucks.
Great shot.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
the one that the skip always needs to have in their back pocket. I remember a friend of mine said to me one time, I don't know if I've told you this, if you can't draw to the 4 foot, you shouldn't be standing in it.
Right. That's a good way to put it, yeah. Yep, skips and leads have a lot of the same skill set in that, the lead, like I alluded to earlier about, you no longer bury players anywhere. It used to be back in the old days, your quote-unquote less experienced player would be your lead, but your lead makes or breaks your end setups.
Yeah, that whole theory is out the window now.
So if your skip can't draw and your lead can't draw, you're not winning a lot of games.
To put it kindly.
Yeah. Both of them need to be able to put those rocks in very precise. The leads don't have a huge room for margin for error, nor do the skips. Us middle of the team players, seconds and vices, we have a little more leeway.
And as you said too, when you're playing on ice where the rocks curl a lot, even when you're throwing a guard, a long guard isn't going to be good enough. It has to be a tight guard.
Yeah. So the Michaud team is still, here we go, N3, N5, N7. And we're seeing the same tactics. Nope, they're trying to get that rock in the ring. Same tactics. Yep. This time, however,
good sweep.
Oh, there it is. It's in.
The rock is not in the back of the rings as they had previously wanted, but high of the tee line. So a hit and roll here by the Michaud team will leave their rock buried above the tee line, and the Molnar rink chasing.
Yep, Zach, yep.
On sheet C, Team Key continues their solid play, and James Harris is throwing a hit against 3 to score a single in the 6th end. The 6th end went all Kieran Scott's way as he stole 2 to widen his lead to 9-4 over Graham Singer's rink, and the Caldwells were forced to 1 in the 6th end, so that's a 1-point game. 3-2 Caldwell over Cuddy, playing the 7th end. Oh, I missed what happened. Did Jamie must have missed that one.
Just the 2 guys.
Because it's still there. Sorry, I was giving updates from the other one. I'm sure people saw. Did it miss
on the
overthrow?
backboards?
Okay. Complete. Here I am. Get back in this game.
Back in the game.
Okay,
I
so
know, you're not watching the other games, and it's like, oh, okay.
Okay, so the Molnar team is throwing a corner guard on their rock, and
it's a fairly long
they were
guard.
successful in doing so. Fairly long guard. So Team Michaud has a decision to make. They
They're
can chase
thinking
the one
about
in the
it.
rings, they can peel the corner, or they can use their own yellow guard and go around it.
They're going to go around.
And that's what they're doing. They're going around. This early in the end, I might consider the peel of the corner.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
And he thought his way through that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is quite an analytical thinker. I believe he and his brother are both in the engineering program at Queen's, so I'm sure he's got quite an analytical mind and a process-driven thought process. So
if this, then that.
Yes.
You always have to think about what you want to leave the other team.
For sure.
Just Brandon, just Brandon. Good throw.
Well, this is turning out to be another wide open end.
So the peel of the corner was followed by the peel of the center. And the blank is back in play for the Molnar team. So Stephen, the skip of the Molnar team, and you and I have both known him for quite a few years.
Yeah, a long
been
time.
A kid growing up at the Oakville Curling Club and spent some time here practicing. And I would say he's an analytical thinker as well.
Yes, yeah.
And spends a lot of time studying the game. So he clearly has a game plan and an end plan, and a blank and 7 might go his way. He's tried, like we said, in 3 and 5 they tried it and didn't work out, but wide open house now.
I like here.
Looks like we have a couple of photographers out there.
Yeah. Let's see. We got wide open end. Let's find out what we find out about these guys. So Molnar's team. They're the youngest team here. I think they're all still high school students. Well, the youngest boys team. I think we've got an all high school team on the girls' side as well. So Steven's in 17, probably in grade 12. So is Tyler. Tyler's from Perry Sound. And Jacob's a local boy, 17, grade 12 as well. And then we've got Brandon, 16. So he must be a grade 11 student, also a high school student.
Well, these guys have a bright future ahead of them, I think. Hopefully they'll be able to stick together and continue to build their team dynamics.
I know that Stephen and the front end played together last year. I believe it was their last year at Bantams. And I think their other player was still Bantam age, so has stayed with the Bantam team. But they obviously did well in joining forces with Tyler. And the Michaud team, they're all post high school students. We've got 2 Queen's universities, the Brock University, and Zach, I believe, goes to Humber College.
Now, have they been together for a while?
This is their second season playing together. And as I said last year, they had a successful season, just coming 1 game short of representing Ontario. So clearly that'll be their goal for this week. They're looking pretty loose out there, though. There's some smiles. And
yeah, they're pretty comfortable.
Zach's chatting away with the neighbors over there on Sheet C. That's the other thing about these guys is they play each other so often through the season. They get to know each other pretty well, and most of the kids here have played either against or with probably every other kid out here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a small world, small curling world, and they do all become friends and
frenemies.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that too.
No, it's 10.
Clearly they're all out to win, but hopefully do so with the best of intentions.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Queen. Yep. Down. Clean. Yeah.
I'm going to put money on A and D being the only sheets that go the distance this morning. I think B and C might wrap up a little earlier, given the...
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Although James Harris on sheet C, watched him curl since he was a youngster at Trillium Camp. I think he was in my group his first year at Trillium. He is tenacious, and he will not hold up his tent and go home without a solid sheet. My son played with him for a year back in Bantam play. And
I remembered Hale playing with him.
And he makes lots of shots, so he's going to stay out there and play as
rolled that one
long
too
as he possibly can, which is a great character.
Now that one's out of the rings, still in play.
Sorry.
So many times people think that those rocks are of no use, but you sit right in front of there, and what's the other team going to do?
Right here?
Attempting to get the force back on for this end, so he'll use, just like you said, out of the rings to try and cause some problems for the Molnar rink.
Draw down to that red.
Yeah, part of what you want to do is make your opponent's life really difficult.
Well,
force them
Scoring
to tough shots, right?
Scoring in curling games is all about creating misses from the opposition.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would always be a 1-0 game. He who had hammer would score in the last end and win. So you only score a point in curling because you created a miss.
It's a bit more weight than my last one.
Well, I have to say I've enjoyed watching a lot of the junior games across the country, the junior provincials. These young people are really passionate about what they do.
And well trained and
Right
well
to it.
coached. I know here in Ontario,
Early if you can, Zach first.
they run a youth camp in the summer.
Right to it.
I believe
Just to it. Well,
essentially
Jets.
every province or region in
Just
the
do
country runs one of their own now as well. And so, I mean, I started curling and
just roll.
I got to be the skip because I was
Hold the line, hold the line.
really? Yeah, pretty much. 4 of us were the same
does that
age.
work?
And when someone decided what positions we'd play, I was the tallest, so I was the skip.
That's pretty funny, Janet.
And one of my teammates was, her brother was older than we were, and he was an accomplished junior curler in his own right, and he was a left-hander, so he taught her to curl left-handed. So she was a right-hander, curled left.
Oh, boy.
You know, so we kind of just fuddled our way around and had some parents to tell us what to do, and then we weren't even required to have a coach, but you were required to have a chaperone.
Yeah,
Not a
well,
coach.
the requirement for a coach is a fairly recent thing.
Yeah. I remember going, shows how old I am. I remember going to,
I won't tell.
yeah, I grew up in the Maritimes. And going to the AEAA curling championships, Penny LaRocque was a master's student at Dalhousie and skipped our team. And we still required a chaperone. And Kathy Cottle, who was, I think, her second on her team, and was her second on her team, who was probably about 21 years old, was our chaperone. I think Penny was in her late 30s at the time, or mid-30s.
So the Molnar team was tried to freeze down to that back one with their rock, but they were a bit light, so Michaud was able to, Michaud was trying to freeze down to it, so Molnar was able to pick that rock out.
Yeah. So the blank is back on. Well, Pascal can still actually get quite a good roll here and get in front of that red and maybe create an opportunity. What's going on sheet A? Delay of game. Oh, fun. They're measuring to see if a rock is in the free guard zone. No, they're measuring to see if a rock is on.
Oh, okay. After one of the lead rocks?
Yeah. No, after the...
this is at the... Okay, I see, yeah.
And it was not. So I think it was a yellow rock they were measuring, so it's either measuring to see if it's going to be a blank or measuring for an extra point.
You got it.
I couldn't tell by their reaction what it was. Okay, so here's another hit.
So the blank is back on.
Yep.
So if they are successful in blanking this, I would say their end plans for the blank in 3, 5, and 7 work 33% of the time. So red's up over on sheet A, so I would say that it was a blank. Yes, it was a blank.
Yep! Whoa! Yep! Hard! Yep. Clean! Whoa! Watch the jab. Okay, we're good.
6 ups.
You called it.
Yep.
Good on, guys.
Around what? What do you mean?
Okay, let's hear what they have to say about the next
I don't
end.
think so.
I know every coach approaches games in a different manner, but one of the things I would do if I was coaching or have done in the past I was coaching is exactly what I just talked about. Is, was our end plan clear? Could I tell from your shot selections and your tactics what your end plan was? And then measure the success of that. And use that information throughout the season to help develop end plans and look at different teams that we would play and decide how we were going to play them.
Nice throw. Good judge.
Statistics.
Yeah. Data drives decisions.
Yeah.
So lots of coaches out here, I see them taking stats and checking, was his intern hit? You know, what percent was it? And I know that lots of the kids like to rush off and find out what percent did I shoot, but that number in isolation often doesn't make sense. I think most of the athletes know whether they played a game that they were happy with or not. It's really taking that data and delving a little deeper and looking at what you can use it for in practice opportunities as well as
it's a piece of the puzzle. It's a piece that you use when you're setting up your games.
So Michaud team through this. This is the 8th end, and I would suggest that the Michaud team's going to go pretty hard to try and create a steal in this end. The statistics show amongst the top teams that scoring an 8 will lead you to a pretty high success rate. And given that they don't have hammer, they're going to have to create some offense and get a steal going. But with this nice intern side of the sheet just curling like, look at that, look at it go.
Now he was almost on the edge of the 12 foot with the broom.
And Zach's
that's one of the first times, guys.
Hard, and we've got nothing.
That's one
nothing
of the
like
first
good
times
ice when you can come around a rock in the top 12.
That's one of the first times I've actually seen players physically shift. Often they'll simply switch. But
he actually went to the other side of the rock.
They gave the player the boot and put Zach with the brush.
Well, perhaps.
They didn't want it to go any further than it was going to go. They wanted it to curl more, so they had the brush.
Well, no, Zach was sweeping on the main curl side with the hair broom. What may have happened is they forgot to switch brooms at the other end, so they had to switch sides.
Yeah, exactly. So they physically switched.
I saw the key team yesterday forget to switch brooms, and they did what I've done with my players before, and they just passed the broom across as it was released. Yeah, and our team's done that as well. Oops, we've got the wrong. So Steven was looking for a freeze there, corner freeze, and unfortunately Robson rolled off, which really puts the good shot in here.
Right in the pocket.
It's amazing how those tiny little mistakes can make such a huge difference.
So from a release perspective,
Jamie first.
Throws very similar to his brother. Lots of rotation. Dutchabal.
All right, guys, where's it?
Positive rotation as the rock's coming down, so it'll hold up nicely and then finish in the house. A little bit lighter from a weight perspective than they were looking for, but I would not suggest that rock is not a good shot. Just not a perfect shot.
Right.
It's got Molnar thinking about how is he going to manage the front of the rings and that work on the button.
At all.
Well, it leaves Molnar with a difficult call.
He has to be careful to put his weight at the top yellow, because his red is going to be in the way of removing it from play. Given that he does not have hammer, or he does have hammer, sorry.
You want to go for it?
That center guard might be something you might want to consider. It's causing him.
I think we play the peel and go for the.
Yeah, that one rock is.
And it's early in the end.
Yeah, but we won't go across the face. We'll roll for a corner.
So
this would be the time to take care of that.
This is when I've always worked with my junior teams and said the question that the second should be asking is, should we peel? And clearly that's the question that Brandon was asking. The lead comes down. Should we peel? It's a good question to ask.
Whoa, close.
Now that's a shot that the second throws quite a bit.
Yeah. And this one's curling a lot. But we'll see. I think there's going to be some movement in the house, and that will that'll work out quite well for the Molnar team. Early in the end, now they've got a red rock in the control zone, sitting in front of a yellow rock, and the guards are gone, and 2 in the ring. So the Michaud team has to start to recognize that. I'm going to suggest this is the second end. We had another end coming this way that there was a few rocks in play and a few shot selection kind of. Otherwise, the ends have kind of been pretty by the bookends.
Yeah.
Both bookends. So now we're gonna see them get a bit creative.
It's not bad, but I'd rather be on the red.
It's interesting because.
Now, is he trying to get to the inside of that red one and tap it?
Yeah, I think he wouldn't mind moving it a bit. He doesn't really even have to move it. I think as long as he plays freeze on the inside corner.
Yeah.
Line's
Because
good.
it's not. He'll still be sitting two.
Yeah, and
Line's great.
sitting two at this point isn't really that even that
Line's
important to
good
him. It's owning the
Right to here.
that control zone and keeping his rocks in a position that makes it challenging for the Molnar. So you really need this rock to curl to the inside corner. That is a great shot.
That's a really nice shot. Good job.
The Molnar rink won't be able to remove that without removing some red along the way.
Let's get this, Val.
But again, this scoring area is getting quite closed down. So I would
I think we
expect
play that.
to see some weight being
And
thrown
if
at
we
that,
stop
even if
it, it's
everything
okay.
opens up. It won't be a problem. The Molnar team, there's only 3 ends left to play. They have
Control.
hammer. They're winning this game right now. So they just have to keep their wits about them not to make any big mistakes.
He's probably going to lose his 4-foot rock on this.
Yep. He will, and he'll probably lose his shooter as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at that yellow rock over in the top 12-foot. There's an angle there, I think.
Hard!
Soft release.
Soft release. This rock is curling.
Hard! Hard,
The rock
right
he does
out!
not want to remove from play is that red one in the middle. That was not a good shot.
No.
That was not a good
That was
outcome for
real
their team.
tough.
No, you can see they're disappointed with that.
Yeah. Right here.
Sorry about
So
that.
the show team will be happy just to continue to guard
Maybe we should have
because
thrown more weight.
their rocks are in a
We
position
probably would have lost the shooter.
that makes it very challenging for the Molnar rock. So they don't need to bring another rock into play. They don't need to remove that red rock.
No, if they bring another one into play, that's just going to help the Molnar team, I think.
So they're going to guard. Depending on what it looks like, the Molnar rink may end up having to peel. And I would suggest that only at the end of the
Line's good. Don't really want.
maybe on Pascal's
Line's
last
good.
shot, you might see him play some sort
Don't
of
finish.
a soft weight tap
finish
and
it. Don't
lay a
finish.
bunch more in the 4-foot.
Close.
This looks like a pretty good
Yeah, go
shot.
now. Hard this one. Go, go, go.
Sure.
So
What?
I think they would have liked that rock to
I have
come a
half.
smidge more
Forward,
because
sir. Okay.
this is allowing the Molnar rink access to the shot rock and a roll over into the 4-foot area. They may not lay too off of it, but they'll be shot double guarded.
I think he's a little wide on that.
Close, whoa. Whoa.
Pressures are close.
Right off.
Oh, here it comes.
They shouldn't lose this. They don't want to sit right there. They want to. Oh, they did. They needed to roll that rock.
Yeah.
They did not want to sit there.
Now, is there a double there?
Yeah, there's a. It's
Where's
the
Zach?
double will be. There's
Get in
definitely
here.
a nice hit and roll.
They don't really need the double.
They don't need the double. They can hit and roll back.
Yeah.
Corner frozen and.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my talking myself.
Clean. Whoa. Whoa, Jamie.
So this has got a little more weight, it looks like, than the
This well,
Molnar
yeah.
rink's hit, but
Yeah.
they've got the make it curl
Hard, Jamie.
sweeper
Go, 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 Jamie.
brushing.
Go, go, go. Hard.
And they're getting a lovely
Beauty.
angle.
Ah,
That's a
nice.
nice shot. Although it will allow the Molnar rink to run that
Yeah, we're
yellow
shot.
back and potentially double those 2 yellows out
Maybe.
because there's a long or a
Right.
halfway
Yeah,
tight
11-2.
center.
What do you like?
You can see on the camera.
It looks like that he would just have to nose hit that.
Team talk.
What?
Team talk.
Let's hear what they're saying.
Listening.
The 4's not going anywhere. I think we gotta play this. We can run the nose, or hit the 5 right on the nose, probably. Yeah, if I miss, we open it up.
Yep.
You like this? Okay. Make off throw. Firm peel.
Okay, so he's going to throw firm peel. He's going to run that back, and the plan B would be to peel it and open things up.
If he hits this right, he can lose the 2 yellow in the rings as well as the one that he's running back.
Yeah.
He'll want to hit it just a bit on the high side, the broom side of this rock, and clip the top yellow. Those 2 should double out. The red will be left the same shot.
Yeah, there's enough space there that the red would probably stay.
Yes. Close. Yep.
Guard. Risky.
It always worries me a little bit when I
Then
hear
he's
the
just gonna
players
throw
talk
the
about
running
how to
in.
miss.
Yeah, and then we hit that in force.
Then I'd rather be tight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even be in. That's fine. No,
Yeah,
no,
it's-
not it.
In's okay.
Even
I like
if
tight though.
It's not
dead
the best,
jam
'cause he
all of
hits and
that,
he's gonna roll.
Yeah.
His red rock was still going to be
Probably gonna-
shot.
I like it 2-3.
And
I guess he's gonna go this
protect
way.
it.
Okay.
We just gotta make sure we don't
So
leave this
they
rock
can
open. Like we can leave this guy
aggressive
open all
with
day.
Yeah.
Like even if we're here, right?
That line call.
Tight. It's all finished, hey?
Okay, so
You
they're
got
going
it.
to put a guard.
Let's go.
So again, Michaud has to be careful about what he's actually guarding here. He doesn't need to actually guard the shot stone because the shot stone is essentially impossible to remove without removing the red rock.
Right.
What he has to guard is that rock that's sitting half in the 4-foot, because that's the rock that the Molnar team needs access to double those out.
Well, he's taking a lot of ice, so I think that's what the plan is.
Yeah. It's another great question teams should ask. After they ask, should we peel, they should ask, what are we guarding?
Right.
Line's pretty good, just tight. Line's pretty good.
So
Line's okay.
Line's fine.
Where are
A
we?
little bit early for line.
We don't need to
Now they're
finish.
following up with
Yep, finish,
sweep
finish,
for,
Dutch, go, go, go.
for
All the way,
curl.
Dutch, all the way,
way,
Dutch,
guys.
hard. Really gotta go. Just Dutch, go. Whoa.
So recognizing
Whoa,
that
whoa,
that's
whoa.
the rock they needed to guard.
Great throw.
Done that successfully, but it still allows the Marshall Molnar combo to
Really good.
to play that same shot and run that yellow
How
back,
much ice
hitting
do you
the
want?
top yellow. Half a rock with
I
the
think
top
that's
yellow.
what they're probably going to have to do. That was a nicely thrown guard.
And guards, are tough on curly ice.
They are.
Because with the finish all being late, if you underthrow it, you don't get enough curl, and if you overthrow it, you often curl past what you're trying to guard. So guards are not the simple shot. There's very few simple shots in curling.
I was going to say
or
this.
conversely, there's only simple shots. The hit or the draw. Everything's a version
There's
of a
one
nose hit
simple
or a
shot.
draw.
That's when you get to throw it through for a blank.
This is tight out of hand, and it's going to result in a straight up peel. Rocks will just be cleared away.
I want to guard again because as long as we're on this side,
So the Michaud team.
Yeah.
he's got nothing.
nothing.
He's got to play this.
Careful
Yeah.
here that I think
long
he
as
can
we're on this
safely
side,
throw
eh?
it
Even if he
back
gets
where they
as
did.
much as he can see,
Let them
that's going wide, and he maybe is taking one.
Cool. Same thing, same
Yeah.
weight, perfect. Right here? Yep.
I would say they do not. Sort of indicating maybe bringing it into the rings, but I don't think you'd want to bring it into the rings and
No.
potentially set up some kind of a triple to allow a score of 2 right
No,
now.
that would not be good.
Yeah.
Red's going to have a challenging shot to score 1. So
Just watch the finish. We want to be, if anything, wide.
That's why I kind of jumped here to
Well, it's
So
always
tenacious
nice.
James Harris is still smiling down there as he's down 6 playing 8, and time is ticking away, but at least he's still got a smile. His team's still got a smile on their face, recognizing this is only game 2, and after this,
That
half
kid
the teams
scraps
still
himself
lost
back
game.
into more games.
I know, that's what I said,
Yeah.
but I think this one might be out of reach. But he won't go down without a fight.
Zach first.
Zach a little.
Jamal, hold the line. Jamal, hold the line.
If you can.
So they're sweeping a bit for line, and now they're sweeping pretty clean. I think his weight's good.
Whoa, right up, right
Yep,
up.
I think it's a perfect shot. He's guarded the outside of that headstone and
very consistent.
Very consistent.
That's okay. You guys judged it well.
That's right where I wanted it.
All right, what to
Molnar
do?
can get shot, I would say. I'm not sure how much he can see of that top yellow. Let's see.
I don't know.
If
You can see a little bit of it, but maybe a quarter.
He could play a soft waiter.
What?
I mean, he just has to move that as soon as he hits the yellow headstone, the other yellow's going by. So he just has to remove that, and his red rock that's sitting just above the tee line will end up being shot.
Let's see if we can hear what they're talking about.
That's what I was thinking. I think that's a.
Yeah.
I think that's all we have. I think we'll wait till like. Yeah.
Good.
It is. What? Might even be easier that way, because we'll actually get some curl out of it. Boards this way? I think we have to have boards because we're hitting this kind of thin. Because we have to push the 6 out. We might be able to. We just gotta push the 6 out of the 4. The 4 will spill. We'll wait till like softer boards.
Just hack, I think.
What?
Just hack.
Hack? Okay, you got it.
Turn with hack weight, hitting that front yellow.
Yep, I see that shot happening. However, Coach Terry Corbin is calling a timeout. So maybe he sees it differently than we do. So timeout.
I'm not sure what other shot they have.
Unless we just play for this.
I'm going to listen in.
If we just play this.
I'm sending you
we
the
can
link
play
right
this
now.
But then this probably goes and rolls in. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get it up into
Took way too much time.
I am good. I'm exhausted. I need sleep.
If they score one,
Yeah.
to score. But playing that shot that you're thinking about, you could potentially give them 2. Yeah. So
Okay.
I would like you to consider playing that in turn. I mean, kind of just back 4 way.
Tick ours.
Tick ours. That's why if you touch the red or the yellow one, you're not going to make them second shot, are you?
No.
No. I mean,
You like that with back 4?
I like that better than what we're playing.
Okay.
Because this way we're only going to give up 1. The other way we could potentially give up 2. So. Huh? I don't know.
Okay, let's go throw.
Let's go.
Okay. How much ice do you like then? Back 4 weight?
Yeah, let's
You got it. What? Yeah. Well, the call is
Now is throw an intern tap to raise their red one.
Wow.
Two shot.
That is a very difficult.
Yes.
More?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are looking to hit a inch of a rock that they can see an inch of.
Well, we'll
With-
see. We'll see.
Perfect weight to send the rock sideways into the button.
So how much do they have to move this? They have to move this rock, what, about 3 inches?
About 3 inches. They're moving it
Close! Yep! Yep!
to the button.
Yep! Whoa!
That looks...
Close! Close! Yep! Yep!
They look close. They got
Whoa.
pressures on and
Yeah.
off.
Yep! Yep! Yep!
the
Yep!
weight.
Whoa!
Oh,
Jacob!
this is such a precise shot.
Yep! Yep! Whoa! Whoa!
And if they don't touch it,
Oh, they did it.
shot.
Nicely
Coach
done.
Corbin liked that one.
Way to go, Coach.
Yeah, good timeout, Coach.
No.
That's a great shot. That should put some wind into their sails, although if you look at them, they have a very calm demeanor, this group of four, and all very stone-faced. So Tyler comes through with another good one for his team. And
That was very
that
well
score
done.
Then will perfect. Thanks. So the Molnar team now is really trying to force a score of 1 to the Michaud team here. So their first call will be to throw a tight center guard and draw play into the middle.
Yeah, just Tyler, just
So
Tyler.
Brendan's pretty close with this shot. Might be a little longer than they were looking for, but center guard it is. This, I feel, is going to be the first deuce wins kind of game. Oh, we were talking about the tick. I think we're about to see one. Or a draw to the wing. Hard to tell from the broom place.
Yeah.
Looks like the draw to the wing.
Well, the tick would be that's like hack weight, right?
Yeah,
Or not,
that's
yeah,
a
hack
hack,
weight.
so.
Yeah.
I thought his broom placement looked like
Right
a
It did.
tick,
It
but
did. Yeah.
they
Right to
instead
the
opted
O.
to throw a corner guard. So they're going full on deuce. We're going to score our deuce and see if that'll carry us through.
That's good. This will be a good end.
Three.
So Team Molnar thinks that center guard's a little too long, so they're going to throw another one in, or another center guard. And
Line's good.
try and get 2 rocks in a good
Three
place
guys.
to
Three.
create some offense in the middle.
Line's real good. Line's good. Just 3 guys. Just 3. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just a 3. That's real good. That works. Perfect.
Slid into the rings, but
You don't have any of it, eh?
I'd say buried.
No, but I could get to it.
Probably no harm.
I
no
kind of like
foul
playing
for that.
hack. I kind of
I
like
think
that.
we can get to it, that long guard.
Like back line.
Or the other option
like
from the show team. Oh, they're throwing hack.
I don't want to bump it
They should
out.
just play the straight.
Is it in the
cover.
ring? It's not
Okay,
it.
but they
Thin. Oh, okay, then
So
hack.
they're going to
Yeah,
play
okay, yeah,
hack
yeah.
weight, hit and roll. It's tough to roll halfway across the house with hack weight, but we'll see how they do.
Stay close.
Trying to get a stopwatch on that, but I missed it. So we'll.
Well, the sweeper's called hack right out of his hand.
Whoa.
So
Just roll. Whoa, Zach, Zach. Hard, Zach. Hard.
2 brushes working. the
Roll
time.
it.
It's got the hack weights. Doesn't quite. Ooh, just probably close to hack weight, but again, when you're only hitting an inch of the stone,
I think it might have been a tiny bit
you
light.
might have needed some board weight to move that one out of the rings.
Yeah.
Or to roll behind the corner guard.
Yep. Yep. Hard. 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 Right up. Hard. Hard. Gotta go. Right up. Right up. Right up. No roll. That's good.
So let's see what Pascal chooses to do. He could probably start to hit some rocks and maybe look at a blank, or he can still continue in his offensive play.
I like that. It's tough to get around that.
He can get his rock buried if he hits this right.
Gotta get that guard out of the way first. Then.
Clean, close. Yep. Yep.
10-5.
Hard, Jamie. Hard, Jamie. Hard, go, go, go. Yeah, yeah, roll it all the way behind the guard.
No, they're going to go behind the other guard.
So they that was a 10-second hit.
I don't mind that.
So that's
If we
probably
got
their
that, that's
control
good
weight
too.
hit, I would suggest. And rolled a little further than they wanted,
Control.
jammed on the other red, but plays at the back of the rings. There's some guards out front, so there's definitely opportunities for offense to be created.
Yep.
The team without hammers
Right up, hard.
usually not ever
Hard!
happy playing around.
Hard, right up. Real hard, real hard. Get it by. Hard, hard, hard. Hard to stick. That's good.
Well, with that rollout,
Without ever curl.
we'll see what the Michaud team is playing for too. Because if they recognize if they go back and hit that Molnar rock at the back of the rings, they've still got the center guard to come around the Molnar team, and they're going to be forced into a scoring, so they might as well try and generate their two. Got a stopwatch on this. We'll see what rate is here in the ninth end.
Good communication between the teams with the weight.
Rock really caught more than they expected it to. I would say that rock is lighter at a hand than they. Well, I don't know. Maybe it just hit a flat spot or something because they weren't sweeping for weight, and it really seemed to curl a lot more than they were expecting.
A lot of the rocks this end they're having trouble with the line.
Okay, so we'll see what a draw. So that was a 14-7, a hog to hog for the wing shot. So let's see what the draw to the middle looks like.
Is it?
I don't think this rock is heavy.
No, they're on that right away.
I think we're going to see about 15 seconds between the hog line.
Hard, guys. Hard, guys. Hard.
The guard.
Get it by if we can. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Leave it.
It's actually 17 seconds, 18 seconds, and it's a young guard.
What time was that?
That's a light rock.
Holy.
Okay, interesting. So
Last time you
thinking
grew
he
up
doesn't
on that.
like those overlap guards and this covering the forefoot. So he's going to go hit them. His other option is to go around them.
I'm surprised he's not going around them.
Yeah.
I mean, those are set up pretty nicely for him.
That's a nice shadow created in the house.
Clean. Yep.
Zach's throwing it pretty hard.
Clean, 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 clean.
And solid double peel at 6.5 seconds here. So, interesting. We're on Vice's second shot. And the Molnar team without hammer is opting to go around
probably
the
just follow us
yellow
around, but
overlapped guards of the Michaud team. I don't know what to say about that.
that's more.
I might save that
Where?
shot to
Where?
Skips Rock, but
That's good.
I can
I think we
pretty
gotta go
well
line,
assure
guys.
you that if this rock is buried
Yep, stay close line.
above or behind the tee line, 14-4,
How's the
this
weight?
is weight,
Yep.
the Michaud team will be freezing through. Or using
Alright,
those
guys,
corner
alright.
guards themselves, as that rock has
Good weight judgment, guys.
6.
Looks like they're going to follow the same path.
follow the same path, and they're
6.
actually indicating they'd like to come around the rock in the house.
Yeah. Well, that rock's pretty high.
Yeah. So that rock, they're going to use all their guards available to them, including the
Raise rock!
rock
Raise
in the
rock!
top 12 foot. So the brushers, I think this one looks a little light.
Where is it? Yeah.
They're going to be in front of it.
Yeah, they're going pretty hard.
Where is it?
And
Where is
this
it,
is
guys?
14
Let it
line.
go.
The last one was 13-4.
Cheating, cheating.
These brushers are looking to drag that.
Go, guys. Go, go, go. Hard.
They're
no,
pretty
it's
strong
getting
brushers.
around.
We've talked about them earlier, and they get it in for shot.
So it's out in the
mostly
open.
buried. I don't.
Okay.
Oh, you can see about
Okay.
2 stone or
Nose is right
cameraman
here.
Hugh Murphy indicates.
I can see the whole thing from over here.
Yeah, from our angle we can
Kind
see it
of
all.
blocks the path. Yeah.
And that rock is also behind
Okay.
the plane of
It
the red
depends
rock,
how-
so will be removed.
I
Can
don't
be
want
removed
to be
without
cute
any
with the
risk
guard either. Okay.
to
What
rubbing the
weight do you
red
like?
rock.
This track. Yeah, you got it.
I would suggest they're going to be playing it with some kind of a control. Oh, he's indicating, I think, a hack weight shot.
What?
Enough to remove it from play and keep their shooter around, rolling in towards the middle. Sheet B was handshakes with the Scott team picking up a victory over the Singer team, moving to 1-1 and putting the Singer team at 0-2. Key with a win over Harris moves to 2-0, and Harris is even at 1-1. And on sheet A, Caldwell Stogel. The 8 then to go up 2, playing 9 on Cuddy.
Jacob.
And this rock looks like it's going to do exactly what they wanted it to do. Hit and roll to the middle.
Well, Janet, it looks like you called this draw pretty well. We've got sheet A and D still on the ice.
Yep. And Pascal now is going to need to deal with that rock in the middle and roll the shooter to a spot to try and generate his deuce out of this. He doesn't really want to get forced on this end.
What do you think, right here?
They got most.
Okay.
Aggressive in playing this roll to set up a skip's deuce.
Nine.
Things are not looking so great for the Cuddy team over there on sheet A either. They're down 2, thrown against 3 Reds. Made a nice hit and rolled a bit farther than he would have liked. I think they're going to end up getting forced this end. Be down 1 without coming home. Props to Russell Cuddy for coming over and chatting to the broadcasters this morning, commenting on watching his game yesterday. Very nice young gentleman.
Oh, that one's going to roll out.
Where do you want to put this?
So Pascal will not be happy with that. As, now the best he's going to do is score 1 this end.
Just touch a piece of the 8.
Yeah, not what he was looking for.
Yeah. Just by the 8. That's good.
So I imagine he's going to want to put this one right back.
Yes, I saw him indicate somewhere around our Latin there, amici, so that the, again, a nose hit's not available, forcing him to draw against 3, but this is once again, a very precise draw. You can let them off the hook by sliding it a little deep.
4-5.
4-5.
Look up. Just
biting
right to
the
the broom,
8-foot.
guys. Right to the
Forcing
broom.
out into a draw path.
Right to the broom. Look up. Look up. Just right here.
Close with this one.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Jacob looks pretty chill.
Yep.
One-arm sweep beside it.
Oh, that's right what he wanted. Good shot.
Yeah. They brought that in another footer. So, and split the center line. It just changes up the draw path for the Michaud team. But Pascal, we saw him draw against some earlier.
Yeah, he seems to have pretty good draw weight.
He's going out into the 12-foot, so the pebbles should stay, be fairly fresh out here, and the rock should ride along for a while, and it'll be all about when the rock takes its break point, and the brushers will need to get involved. I'm going to time this one.
Do you have a stopwatch over there, Murph?
I do. It's coming down. Decibel. I think almost was ready to sweep before I let that rock go. So we're going to see the full attention shows brushing in action here.
Go, Ishmael, go! Hard!
And they're sweeping hard. 14-3.
Hard! Go! Hard, boy!
Oh, they're really going hard on that.
Go hard!
Great sweeping, nice job.
Great sweep, guys.
No doubt.
I don't know. They sounded a little panicky there for a second. But I think as a teammate, you would rather see that than see the sweepers leisurely walking beside the rock.
Watching it slide by.
Then we play the tag.
So, the objective is very clear for each of the teams. The Michaud team will need to steal, and the Molnar team will need to score a point. And whichever team is successful will win this game.
Yeah.
So we're going to see guards.
I would suggest that the Michaud team, if they do anything but throw 6 or 7 guards, will I would be surprised. So this, now we might see this tick that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
This would be an opportunity for the Molnar team to attempt a tick. Usually when a game's tight like this, they'll attempt it on their first one. And depending on the success rate, may go in on their second one. We'll see what they've had a clear end plan each end, so we'll see what theirs is. And I say it's the tick, based on his broom placement. And I saw a little hip touch from the lead, so. Now these ticks are
real close. Yep.
Yeah, they can be pretty useful. They're very tough, but they can really.
Gotta go. Yep. Whoa,
again, based on where the
whoa.
rock that you're ticking is, the broom placement. Ooh, so close. The broom placement, needs to be a bit different. Rocks higher up, it doesn't curl as much. Rocks that are close to the rings have more time to curl, and therefore would need more ice for their target.
Now, do you think that would have been a made shot if the sweepers laid off of it?
Yeah, they did have the sweeper brushing a bit, or even switch and have the make it curl guy go hard on it. His weight looked like it was what they were expecting.
Yeah, I thought the weight looked pretty good.
So the Michaud team really wants these two rocks as far apart as they could be, and that setup is pretty makeable as a double peel. So Team Molnar is going to go to the wings because they recognize they're going to start peeling as soon as they get the opportunity. So they're just going to throw a rock over in the wing and have it there as a saver if they need it late in the end and have to play some kind of a big weight shot. They'll have some rock available to them that might score.
Hard, Jacob, hard. We gotta get another 4-foot path.
We got. This is. That's an okay shot, I'll say.
That's real good.
A little too high, maybe.
Not going to hurt. Yeah, a little higher than they might like. Not going to hurt them. Not going to help them right now in the end because the Michaud team's going to the middle regardless. And recognizing those rocks are probably very easy to double peel, they might want to just consider throwing a third guard.
Yeah.
They're indicating sort of just a top 12-foot kind of rock, top tight guard.
We're like a 1, 2. We're not gonna be there.
Can you go right here?
You can get there, Zach.
We're not even gonna be there.
Are you leaving? Are you leaving the play? Okay.
Oh, this one's a little light.
The photographer should be here. He's not here.
Yeah.
He gets here. If you're here.
I know.
So go about your business. We will find you at some
Yeah, we'll find you.
We don't want to impede on what you're doing. If you leave the club, let me know. If you don't, then we'll find you. Because there's lunch and food down in the players' lounge for them. So yeah, depending on how far your hotel is, I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, he shouldn't be here, but or you could ask. Oh, thanks. Hey, Joe. Come on, you want to be a guest commentator?
Yep. Hard. Really gotta go.
Okay, so we're
really
back
gotta
in
go.
the
Big roll, Tyler. Big roll.
They got a couple.
So they got a couple. They left their shooter guarding their red rock. Lots of jumping around. Pascal's wondering if anything got touched.
I don't think so.
Like, did you hit it this way or this way?
Can we see that on the? Did we see that on?
I thought he
Doesn't
jumped
matter. We're
over
not
it.
involved in it anyway. But if they want us, no.
Yeah, can we get the instant replay?
I don't think there's anything like that. When actually, Michaud should be happy that that's just what it's on the guard. I think he's thinking he'd like it further over, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's going back to the middle.
Center guard. Yeah. Shot. What side do you like here?
I am going to call that
This
rock
way.
biting the 8 foot is not going to be
guys.
scored
Paramore, yeah.
for this end. So I don't think it matters that it's guarded. But we'll see.
No, when you get them in that kind of area, you pretty much have to ignore them.
Three guys. Make sure. Gotta move a bit.
So over on sheet A, the Cuddy team managed to manufacture themselves a deuce to tie it up, so they're going to be tied without coming home as well. And I'm seeing the Caldwell team call a tick. We'll see if they make it over there. And they do not make the tick either. They make contact with the rock, but hit it much too hard and send it through.
When you're playing the tick, you really don't have to hit much of the rock.
No.
You're really just kind of kissing it.
You are. Actually,
I think we have
Hugh and I played mixed doubles last year, and
I like feeling the low one.
I noticed how often in mixed doubles you actually never want to make
Careful
the
what you
tick.
say.
No, and I noticed
Not even.
you know how you can just make that rock get off the center line with a little bit of a tight line on a T-line draw.
Yeah, I had a couple of those, did you?
Yeah. So the Michaud team throws the tight center guard, and Molnar is just opting to peel the single guard, not going up and
Gotta go real hard.
peel.
Gotta go real hard.
I don't think he's going to be happy with that outcome, though. Nose hit on a peel is never something you're looking for. So
doesn't give you what you're looking for.
Doesn't give you what you're looking for. So Michaud is thinking of guarding the guard. Recognizing that if he does come around to the 4 foot, he's on vices first. So if he comes around to the 4 foot, Molnar's going back up and peeling. He's peeling his own red rock. He might be able to run into his yellow. So he's just going to keep working this middle.
Well, he may as well. I mean, there's going to be so many rocks up there that Molnar's going to have to be making double peels and triple peels if they're able to put enough junk up there.
Yeah.
Don't want to.
So we've got another tick attempt. And this time, they make contact with the rock on sheet A, move it into the rings, and roll a little bit off center.
Great shot.
What would that be out of 4?
On sheet A?
Mm-hmm.
I would think, given, I would give that pretty close to a 4 out of 4.
Yeah.
Because the yellow rock's not going to score. It's over there. They've opened up the center line.
So it's not causing any damage,
It's
so
not
it
causing
doesn't
any
matter.
damage. I think if you can get that rock off the center line, you've improved your team's chances.
So I think
peeling
Steven
coming
is
back on.
trying to get rid of a couple here.
And he just makes a good double peel. Has opened up the outturn draw side of the sheet, and Pascal's going to continue to throw center guards. I would suggest we're going to see center guards for the next couple of shots, and then Pascal will draw with his last one. There's always a bit of cat and mouse going on here at some point, because the Molnar team may say, you know what, we're going to go in first, and go in on their skips first.
If he throws a good center guard here, there is no in-turn come around
No.
to be had. So I wouldn't be surprised if Molnar doesn't try and throw the out-turn come around.
I don't think they're going to do it yet,
Taking it
Huey,
away.
because they're still in Vice's second,
Indeed,
right?
indeed.
But this is the fun part of the cat and mouse chess game of curling, is when is the other team going to do something you don't expect them to do? Trying to get the other team off their game is always So another double peel is available actually here, and he could open up both the in-turn and the out-turn side. Oh, they're not going to play that one. They're going to play...
I can see Tyler looking at all the possibilities.
Seeing where all the rocks are going to go. Oh, jeep. Wow, there's a lot of rocks moving there. Okay. Luckily, Tyler lifted his foot just in time to not touch that rock coming back.
The importance of knowing where everything is.
So, Jamie's considering the draw. Jamie's asking Pascal, should we consider drawing now?
Right on the tee.
Good.
Do you want to call time?
Yeah.
On D.
First time out we had in the 8th end was the Molnar team timeout, and we've done the Michaud team timeout. Each team is eligible for 2 timeouts from the games. 1 minute timeout is the coach with its top.
And we're going to listen in on that.
Is it today, Miss Murphy? David's
So they decided to draw. They think that Molnar is going to continue to try and peel, and they also feel that they maybe struggled with their draw weight a little bit. So they're going to come into the tee line here.
With the draw weight. Which team feels they struggled?
Molnar. Michaud feels that Molnar has struggled with their draw weight.
Interesting.
Exactly.
And they think
the
that
1-inch side slash for a point, Nate.
So they think Molnar's going to continue to peel. So they're going to they think that this is the time to come into the house and draw to the tee line.
Right. And then hopefully have a guard.
Right.
So the objective here, I guess, is to ensure they have a guardable rock for Pascal's last one.
Yeah.
So top of the 4-foot, biting the button will be good for them.
You gotta go soon.
Brother and Zach on the sweep are...
This is the casual walking beside the rock I was referring to?
Yes. Never a good sign.
Coming down! No.
It's coming through to the middle, so it'll start to slow down. And
Yep.
They had a good 18 inches past that guard, though.
So now they've opted to take it a little bit deep. In case the Molnar team decides to freeze down to it, they'll have enough room to get in on themselves. And that's what the boys are talking about. I would be peeling.
Yeah.
Now that draw, like Hugh said it, they had plenty of room around that guard.
And instead bury.
We just play the peel.
So you know you can get a good one in there. Peel, I say. So on sheet A, for anybody who's wondering, the Caldwell Cuddy game tied up, coming home. Cuddy is throwing guards. Caldwell is peeling. There is nothing essentially in play. Cuddy's going to have to hope for some mistake in order to have a chance to win that game. Got a peel coming down here. And a little bit of sweeping. Looks like the rock is
looks pretty good.
Perfect.
That's good.
And he has rolled far enough away that he's going to have an in-turn path and an out-turn path to the button. So Pascal is indicating a very tight guard. He can really even come right into the 12.
Right, so if we don't have to wait, it's not going to finish as much. Still, I still think we take the same ice because they didn't sweep it at all.
Okay.
They could. I like that right there.
You got it.
Okay, so Pascal wants to take the same ice, and he's going to throw less weight.
Yeah, and he's going to try and be into the ring so that the opportunity for the Molnar team to get to the 4-foot is, or get to the button is more challenging. The longer the guard, the easier the draw will be for the Marshall team. But we've seen throughout this game and previous games, even a rock at the top 12-foot can be used as a guard. So
yeah.
I would be surprised to see Marshall do anything but draw, but you never know. If he comes a little bit deep on this, they may try to play a short little double, knowing that that rock that I said would not be the scoring point would be available for them.
Keep it clean.
Felt down, felt
Clean
clean.
it.
Like a bit last year.
At least are
Line's good, just 4. Line's
brushing
really
it a bit.
good.
Hold it! Hold the line! Hold the line!
And it's really starting to go.
Whoa!
Yep.
I think this guard is
Whoa.
just going to be enough to get in the way visually, but not enough to prevent Marshall from being able to come down and draw the button. Yeah, so this game came back and forth to whoever managed the hammer in the 10th end, and they get to make the last shot.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. That's what I said. It's all come down to...
What turn do you like? Okay.
The intern, which is the path he played in the 8th end, drawing to a smaller part of the button, and yeah.
Well, he is obviously more comfortable with this turn in this path.
Yeah. And both turns are makeable, as I said. He clearly likes his intern.
Yeah.
I think... Okay, let's see if I can...
Focus.
I'm not going to be able to get a stopwatch on this, but Coach Corbin is going, so maybe he'll tell us at the hog line. It's light.
Hard, guys! Hard line! Hard!
Yeah, so the Michaud
Hard, guys! Hard!
I'm
Gotta get by!
to steal this end.
Whoa.
He just underthrew that rock. It's a tough one. Yeah.
Well, he'll be disappointed about that.
Disappointed, yeah.
Yeah, yes, good luck. Thanks, good luck.
Well, Janet, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Dolores.
I'm not letting you rush off that quickly.
Oh, you're not?
Give me a rundown of the scores on the other sheets.
Okay.
Just a quick rundown of the scores on the other sheets, if you will.
I can't read the cards. You're going to have to do that.
Okay, so we're just going to wrap up this draw. On sheet A, we're down to Russell Cuddy's last shot. He has a rock in the rings of the Caldwell team that he's going to attempt to place to over in the 12 foot. That's a tie game. Caldwell has hammer coming home. On sheet B, Scott with a 10-6 victory over Singer. On sheet C, Key with a 9-4 victory over Harris, and on our feature sheet, Michaud steals the 10th end for a 4-3 victory over Molnar, moving Molnar to 0-2 and Michaud to 2-0.
That's great. Well, I'm just going to stand up.
Hang on, I'm going to give you the update on, unfortunately, Russell Cuddy's rock is not going to make the corner freeze. Although shot, it's going to be a wide open hit for the Caldwell team to win this game.
Good. Well, that's it then for this the second draw for the guys for curling zone at the Ontario Junior Curling Championship for 2016 from the Missisauga Golf Country Club. Hugh Murphy signing out. We'll see you in an hour or so for the next women's draw.
Thanks for watching Live Stream Curling. Brought to you by CurlingZone.com. Everything curling.